Hokage. I transmigrate and became Naruto and decided to be a salted fish. Chapter 41. In the next few days, Naruto's 7th class did all tasks. Whether it's cutting rice, shoveling shit, or catching cats, you can't think of it, there is nothing you can't see. This is really ecstatic for nearly a month. Fortunately, Naruto has multiple shadow clone techniques, and many tasks do not need to do it yourself. Forehead. Although all the memory sharing after shadow clone is released is similar to what I did, the inner self hypnosis still feels much more comfortable. Fortunately, the ninja does these tasks faster and has plenty of time. Naruto occasionally goes fishing with a fishing rod in his spare time, and he sits for a long time. Sasuke and Sakura often find people. Over time, I get used to it. Occasionally, Sasuke, the tsundere man, will also go fishing with a broken fishing rod. Sasuke has gone, can little Sakura be far away? Therefore, the little cute newbies in the village occasionally see the 7th group including Kakashi sitting and fishing together, which is a beautiful scenery. During this month, a rumor spread throughout the village. The cause of the matter is like this. At that time, what Naruto and Kakashi said made Kakashi extremely horrified. He felt that he wanted to share this secret and was overwhelmed by the shock, so he found his good friend Might Guy. As we all know, Might Guy has a big mouth. He often chats with people and nags when he exercises. If you don't pay attention, the secret is leaked out. What one person knows is a secret, but 2 or even 3 people know that it is not a secret. Taoists say that the so-called Tao produces one life 2 begets 3 begets everything. Well, it didn't take long anyway, almost everyone in the village knew about it. The current Hokage has a crystal ball, which is used for voyeurism. When you are in the bathhouse, you must wrap yourself tightly and don't be seen by others. It's weird. On this day, Sarutobi Hiruzen, as usual, handled those cumbersome files and opened the crystal ball to feast his eyes. But, what happened? Everyone was wrapped tightly, even soaking in hot springs. Is it necessary? The inexplicable my benefits are gone. Hey, there is no way. Sarutobi Hiruzen takes out the ninja crooked biography. Look, let's talk about comforting it. Master Hokage, today's inspection mission is completed, do you have any more orders? At this time, an Anbu member came in to deliver the task, and looked up at 3rd generation from time to time, with a strange look. Who is 3rd generation? Known as Dr. Ninja, it is also known as the strongest ninja today. Although his strength has regressed due to his age, he was not confused yet, and soon noticed something wrong with this Anbu member. What do you want to say? Or is there something wrong with the mission? Anbu looked up, he stopped talking, not knowing what to say. The rumors out there are noses and eyes, he just wanted to say, Lord 3rd generation, your person is broken. Well, Master Hokage, you should go out and listen to it by yourself, I can't tell what's the matter. Anbu bit his scalp and said, then he slid and left. This guy is too unprofessional to do things, and I will change him someday. Change to a more reliable and stable one. 3rd generation didn't leave, but took a leisurely sip of tea. After reading a genin's crooked biography, he slowly got up and walked out of Hokage building with his hands on his back. He is the village head and also Hokage. Apart from the crystal ball, my biggest hobby in my life is wandering around the village. That way, you can get closer to the villagers and understand some of the shortcomings in the village better. Over time, the 3rd generation's reputation in Konoha village has increased infinitely. Although they are not worshipped everywhere they go, most people will respectfully scream, Hokage Lord. Single quote. However, it seems a bit weird today. This is the Lord 3rd generation. It looks like a human being on the surface, but it does that kind of thing secretly. Yeah, who can think of it? Hey, be careful from now on, it's best not to go to the hot springs to bathe. Sarutobi Hiruzen, I always feel something is wrong. After that, 3rd generation quietly changed its appearance and walked down the street. Hey, isn't this Asan? You came back from a trip, what? You didn't encounter any danger on the road, right? When 3rd generation first walked out, he ran into a peasant worker carrying a hoe. This person brightened his eyes when he saw that 3rd generation had become San. Fortunately, this road is still safe. Sarutobi Hiruzen calmly nodded and said with a smile on his face, I have made a lot of money this trip, so I can rest comfortably for a few days in the future. Single quote. Oh, you said you wouldn't it be great to stay in the village? You have to go out and wander around. Look at how many people who have gone out and wander around these years have had good results. Third generation handed a cigarette, the smoke curled up, and nodded in agreement. You were right, but you can never see anything in the village. Although it is dangerous outside, there are great opportunities, aren't they? Let's do it, I will complain with you too. By the way, be careful when you go home and ask your woman to go to the hot spring. Sarutobi Hiruzen. Why, I heard that Lord Hokage is a voyeur, that crystal ball is for voyeurism. Sarutobi Hiruzen. What am I? Whose rumors spread? Understood, all at once understood. I said why Anbu's eyes were so weird, and the villagers' eyes were so disgusting. I didn't expect it to be so. My personal design. Third generation clutched his heart, almost out of breath. He seemed to have seen the image he had built for many years suddenly collapse. It's still the kind of cracked ground. What's wrong with you? A bad heart. I said you, what did you do at a young age? I'm leaving, I'll talk another day. Sarutobi Hiruzen wasn't in the mood to pretend, and turned around regardless of this person's retention. Walking to the dark corner and changing back to the original appearance, Sarutobi Hiruzen angrily returned to the office and called Anbu. Check it out for me, I want to see who has released the rumors. Yes, several Anbu members looked at each other, hurriedly responded, and went down to investigate in embarrassment. No way, the power of third generation at this time is too heavy. Ah ha ha. At the root, Danzo leaned back and forth listening to the laughter of the people under his hands. Hiruzen, I didn't expect you to have today. I see how you end up, ha ha ha. Danzo laughed madly. The third generation has always looked like a good old man, and he is responsible for the black pot. No way, who told him that he didn't become Hokage at the beginning, he could only be the root of Konoha, and he would do some dark things. These Danzo don't care, after all, he likes it too. But I always feel uncomfortable in this way, and it is even more uncomfortable to compare the bright image of Sarutobi Hiruzen. It's good now, things are getting more and more interesting. Go, check. Who is it? I have to thank him. I feel a little bad, Mrs. Kakashi. Naruto, who was fishing, naturally heard it too. Thinking about what she said to Kakashi on the hayloft, she just felt cold in her neck. If this is to let third generation know that the source is that he doesn't know if he will screw his head off. Kakashi, don't panic, calm down, things are not that bad yet. If your hands don't shake, I believe it. Glancing at Kakashi's hand, holding the ninja crooked pass and shaking his hand, dare you say you don't panic? Ahem. Kakashi coughed embarrassingly, and said earnestly, Naruto, the teacher here is going to teach you a lesson. For the rest of your life, you must make a friend who can help you out. Naruto looked at Kakashi weirdly. What do I think you are talking about, Danzo? So, Mrs. Kakashi, who are your gangster friends? Yes, that person is me. Might Guy said triumphantly. I didn't expect what I said was true, and it spread so far. Might Guy. Sarutobi Hiruzen can't wait to slap it over. This guy killed me, and is still triumphant here. Wait. Sarutobi Hiruzen cursed fiercely in his heart, thinking about assigning some difficult tasks to Might Guy. However, Might Guy is not afraid of challenges. The more difficult the task, the happier he will escape. Wouldn't it be more as he intended? Well, he has to find a way. Might Guy, you go down first, maybe there will be tasks for you in the last few days. Okay, Master Hokage, my youth is waiting for me to bloom. Kang, with a thumbs up, the teeth flashed past. Sarutobi Hiruzen, flashing your sister, I will make your teeth black in a few days. Ms. Kakashi, I think it would be miserable to be your friend. Fishing as always, Naruto looked at Kakashi in horror and silently mourned for Might Guy. The guy sold himself before he said anything. What else can Naruto say? Why, I didn't do anything. Kakashi spread his hands. This is his own decision, how can you blame me? It's because you didn't do anything that you pitted Might Guy. Naruto whispered in his heart, and then pulled up the fishing rod casually, wiped it with his hand, and threw the lilac in his hand into the space ring. At the same time, I decided in my heart that this salted fish should still be there, and my friends try to choose the unwise ones, the smart ones are too pitted. You can be counted as soon as your thoughts are turned. What? Suddenly, Naruto was taken aback, slightly thoughtful. Whether to break up with Shikamaru is a question. What else are you two talking about? Hurry up, I see that kitten, in the woods on the edge of the training field. Understood, we're here. Naruto took the fishing rod and turned it into a stick and hung it behind his back, and a few flashes went towards the grove. Kakashi slowly followed behind him. This was the task of 3 people, he just watched from the side, and occasionally gave pointers. It was very easy. Hey, the second part of ninja biography is almost finished, the book is scarce. Kakashi rubbed his chin and stared at Naruto. According to legend, the ninja crooked biography came out of this kid's grocery store. If you go to his grocery store another day, maybe you will find something new. Sasuke, Naruto is here. Yes, Naruto, the 3 of us surround us and keep communication normal. Receive. The 3 of them looked serious, in order to catch Wong Fu's wife's cat. Oh, these days are really laid back, my favorite. Touching the phone on his ear, Naruto's face was full of smiles, but Hinata was thought of after a second thought. It seems that he hasn't seen this little girl for more than half a month, so he is a little missed. Today is another easy day. They didn't know how many times the cat of Wong Fu's family had caught it, and each time they could earn 10,000 fire coins. It was easy and profitable, and it was little Sakura's favorite. Because she is the poorest in the team at this time. Poor woman. Sasuke has a Uchiha legacy, and it can't be used up in a few lifetimes. Naruto has made a lot of business with the Inoshika Cho family and the Hyuga family over the years, and is now considered an invisible rich man. As for Kakashi, elite Jonin are all mobile wallets. In the evening, Naruto, who returned home, made some simple dishes at will. After eating and drinking, he went to the grocery store alone. I haven't updated the grocery store for a long time due to the busy schedule recently. Today happens to be this time, it's time to sort it out. There are a lot of things to put on fishing this half a month, so we need to make reasonable arrangements. Yes, for convenience and brevity, some good books should be put separately, comics belong to comics, and novels belong to novels. Multiple shadow clone techniques. Come on, let's do it. When Kakashi walked into the Uzumaki Naruto grocery store, he happened to see this hot scene. Oh, Naruto, it's rare to see you working so hard to start organizing the grocery store. I heard people say that Hinata used to organize the grocery store. Why, Hinata was messed up after half a month. Yeah, I need to update something, just sort it out. Naruto glanced at Kakashi in surprise, and then went into the sorting process. More than an hour has passed. With Shadow Clone, the speed is much faster, and it is almost over. Yes, however, Kakashi's eyes lit up when he heard Naruto's words. By the way, Naruto, your collection is so rich. Kakashi looked at Naruto's busyness, took a yellow duck from a cabinet, and squeezed it. Quack, scare. Kakashi shook his hand and was startled. What is it, still screaming? That's a toy for children. Kakashi held back for a long time before exhaling, it's exquisite. Putting the duckling in his hand back to the counter, Kakashi continued to browse, with great interest. Stopped before Naraluku said that the Naruto grocery store has a rich collection, basically rare and weird things, and some are old, just like antiques. Some are very advanced and unbelievable. Kakashi hasn't paid attention to it all the time, and has never been here. When I came for the first time today, I suddenly found that Naraluju was right. There are many things that are very interesting. For example, the animal with its neck stretched out as a dinosaur according to Naruto. There are many beautiful flowers. There are also some machines that look very delicate. Toys are also a lot. However, Kakashi is most concerned about the bookshelves that stand out from the crowd. There are many books on the shelf, and they are also divided into martial arts, fantasy, and interesting. Kakashi wandered to a corner of the bookshelf by himself. There were no labels here, only some miscellaneous books, but this was what he valued. Because he saw the Ninja Crooked biography. Pulling out a book at random, Kakashi glanced at the title with interest. The secret that Xiaoji and Pikachu have to tell, what is it? With a whisper secretly, Kakashi opened the book. Hey, what a cute yellow mouse, is this Pikachu? This is Xiaoji, how come there are symbols on his face like Naruto? He glanced at Naruto squintly, and silently compared it. Naruto is a fox whisker, and this Xiaoji is Z. Could this book be painted by Naruto himself? But is it possible? When I think of Naruto's lazy look, it doesn't look like he would draw this book. Slowly turned to the first page. Hot eyes. Kakashi hurriedly covered his eyes. the waves in his heart rolled, it was so exciting. Cough. Kakashi looked at Naruto and coughed. How much is this book? 1,000. What, are you robbing? Kakashi was shocked when he heard the price. So dare you to sell it at such an expensive price? I'm an orphan, do you understand it? Do you want love? Naruto didn't care about his face. I don't lack money anyway. Single quote. What am I? Kakashi is speechless. Just because of your business attitude, there should be no one here. Forget it, buy it. In the end, Kakashi gritted his teeth and bought it. It's only 1,000 fire coins. In a nutshell, he can do a task with hundreds of thousands, and it's not bad for this amount of money. The most important thing is to be happy. Yes, reading makes me happy. Kakashi quietly left with this book in his arms, and at the same time he left 1,000 fire coins. Seeing Kakashi's departure, Naruto flipped his expressionless hand, and another secret that Xiaoji and Pikachu had to say appeared in his hand and slid it into the original place. This is called replenishment. If this scene is seen by Kakashi, he must vomit blood out of anger. Yo, Kakashi. Kakashi was walking on the road and happened to be seen by a passing Might Guy. Guy, didn't you take your students to the task? No, I haven't had any missions lately, and I'm also very surprised. By the way, Kakashi, why do you think I will go out and do missions? Well, nothing. Kakashi gave a dry cough and concealed the embarrassment on his face. What are you talking about? Can it be said that I cheated you, and you have to drag me to fight with you, so I don't have that idle mood? With a book in his pocket, Kakashi greeted him calmly and hurriedly left. He decided to stay up all night tonight. Why are individuals becoming weird these days, even Kakashi? Guy touched his head and grinned. Go and find Xiaoli for a youthful race. It's a happy decision. After speaking, Might Guy stood upside down, moving his hands together, raising dust all the way. At dusk, Naruto was fishing and happened to see Shikamaru walking over with a tired look. After throwing a bottle of drink casually, he asked strangely, "What did you do today, so tired?" Gurgle, gurgle. His throat shook. Shikamaru gulped his drink, and after drinking more than half he put it down and wiped the corner of his mouth helplessly. My teacher in charge doesn't know what to think. He often messes around. It's not difficult to get some, but it's irritating. An unacceptable task. According to him, he is a master of all the hardships. There is nothing wrong with this. It's okay, what a shit. Shikamaru, a person who has always been indifferent, burst into swearing. You come and try. No, I won't go. Hey, I really envy you. Shikamaru lay tiredly on the rocking chair, squinting his eyes and enjoying a rare good time. Oh, by the way, I heard that it will take a long time for such a person to lead the team before Jonin can pick up some sea-level tasks that are not difficult. How long will it take? Generally speaking, it will take 2 or 3 months. Shikamaru nodded. These 2 or 3 months are used to run in. When the 3 of the team have a tacit understanding, Jonin will try to take us to higher level tasks. Of course, we still need to see if we have this ability. That's not bad. Yes, I heard from my father that there was no such rule back then. Once you graduate from the ninja school, you have to go to the battlefield, and even those who haven't graduated will go to the battlefield. That should be a very gloomy age. Yes, hearing what Naruto said, Shikamaru nodded with deep conviction. We are living in a very good age, at least we can steadily go over, without being forced onto the battlefield. This has reduced many unnecessary casualties. But there are not many outstanding ninjas, are they? Naruto held the fishing rod and smiled faintly. It's not to say that geniuses come out of war. Under that tremendous pressure, in order to survive, many ninjas are squeezing their potential. Let's not talk about it, just talk about Hatake Kakashi, Uchiha Itachi, etc., who have witnessed wars from a very young age. Where is your teammate, Choji? I haven't seen him much recently, and Ino. One is in the flower shop, and the other is in the rotisserie, needless to say. Shikamaru had enough rest. He walked to the side of the grocery store and took out the fishing rod he had placed here. While putting on the bait, he said, compared with them, I am lucky. Because you were lazy, Shikamaru. What nonsense, aren't we each other? By the way, your Nara family's ability to raise deer is really amazing. Bring me some antlers someday. It's free, there are so many things in my house. Shikamaru put the fishing rod down, took out the novel that covered the sky and read it. Recently he has become obsessed with fantasy novels. Although most of the stories written here are Eastern stories, I have to say that they are very exciting and fascinating. When night came, Naruto and Shikamaru reluctantly closed. Now it's midsummer, and the weather is getting cooler in the evening. Instead of fishing here, it's not allowed to hide in bed and play games. It's good to read the book. As for the extras for fishing, Naruto is already very calm and won't go home until midnight as before. There are not many surprises in 5 years, and I get used to fishing. In general, it's better that the monster meat comes from the subtle beast. Naruto's current physique is very good, and with chakra, he is basically not afraid of the cold, but salted fish naturally likes a warm bed. Isn't he good to hide inside, play games and read books? It's okay to think about genin technique again. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow. Saying goodbye to Shikamaru, Naruto went home and saw something messy, frowned and started to clean up. When Naruto reached a box, Naruto paused and saw what was inside. It is a GBA handheld game console. Since there was no battery supply, this game console was sealed up 3 years ago. Speaking of, the Hokage world also has batteries, but they don't match. At first, he tried to find the manufacturer of the battery, but he couldn't find it. Because the boss is not in Konoha village. After I asked Shikamaru, the answer I got was that it needs to be customized, and the price of customization is very expensive. At the beginning, Naruto didn't have so much spare money, and in the end it had no choice but to stop. Looking back now, at that time, he and Shikamaru Hinata were sitting with Shikamaru Hinata playing the game console, and they yelled at an upgraded one. Ah, this is all lost youth. Carefully wipe off the dust on it with a clean rag, put it away at one time, thinking about when there is a battery or a wireless power supply and other props can play. The next morning, the 7th class met again. Kakashi looked at the energetic 3 and nodded in satisfaction. Then, I won't accept the task today, and I want to ask you if you know when tomorrow is. Tomorrow is the 60th anniversary of the establishment of Konoha village. Little Sakura is right. Unknowingly, Konoha village has been established for 60 years. Tomorrow is a very important day. All ninjas will return and even give up missions. This day is also called the Konoha festival. Kakashi glanced at Sakura approvingly, and then said, "You are the new generation ninja, so I didn't notify you in advance, but it's not too late to tell you today." After a pause, Kakashi continued, "The time is special. The entire village, even most of the country of fire, will have a 7-day holiday, which can also be called a 7-day pleasure. The holiday will start tomorrow, so although there is no task today, there are still things to do. You have to work a little bit. Don't worry, I have to participate today too." Kakashi glanced at Naruto. "All we have to do is maintain law and order, help hang up lights and other miscellaneous things, then you follow me. Now, come with me." "Ms. Kakashi didn't tell me that. I had forgotten it, but I learned it in the textbook." "I don't remember either." "Little Sakura, you are too isolated from the world. Can you not feel the atmosphere in this village?" Naruto scratched his head. "I really don't feel it, because I usually stay at home except for tasks and the need to come out." "Me too." Kakashi, who was walking in front, paused slightly before moving on, but there was a pain in his heart for some reason. What they said was simple, but the real pain and loneliness came upon them. "I have been immersed in Obito for so many years, in the memories of Lin and her teacher and mother's death. Is it wrong to do it?" Kakashi was silent, his figure a little sad. The only seedling of the Obito clan and the only seedling of the teacher have something to do with him. Why he can't see it? Kakashi, should you cheer up? No matter how you say it, watch the teacher's child grow up." Kakashi glanced at Naruto with a constant tingling sensation in his heart. At this moment, he is still heartless, but the hidden loneliness can be clearly felt. All lonely people. With a light sigh, Haruno Sakura is a little more normal in his team. Of course, it is to remove the expression of the secret love nympho. No matter what, let's train the 3 of them well in the future. With a secret decision in his heart, Kakashi suddenly felt a lot more relaxed, without so much depression. Konoha's 60th anniversary is a very special day. It is an exciting day. On this day, everyone will party outside, and everyone will relax to their heart's content. The gongs and drums were beaten outside and it was very lively. Many programs are on stage, very lively. Early in the morning, Naruto opened the window and looked at the river outside. At this time, the standing side of the river was full. There were ninjas on the river treading water competitions, boats were shuttled, and the boats were full of festival props. There were many people shouting on them, and there were also on the other side of the river. Yes, it seems that there is no way to fish today. Naruto smiled and closed the window to prepare breakfast. He didn't intend to go out annoyingly on such a lively day. Even if it was a bit noisy, the door would be closed. As for going crazy, to be honest, I didn't think much about it. He himself is a quiet person. Tuk tuk. Just as Naruto was about to start work, there was a knock on the door. Who will come to see me at this time? The names of several people appeared in his mind, and Naruto got up from his seat and walked to the door to open it. Squeak. The door opened slowly, and Naruto poked her head out to take a look, and was suddenly surprised. Not surprisingly, Hinata is outside the door. How should I put it? Because of his own sake, Hyuga Hiyashi is not so strict with Hinata. The suspect is so afraid that his daughter will be abducted by himself and his daughter will become a little fatherly. Of course, it is still serious when it should be serious. But at least it didn't make Hinata feel that scared. Coupled with Naruto's sake, Hinata's personality on this plane is slightly more cheerful. However, facing Naruto, she often blushed and shy, and occasionally fainted when she was a little closer. At this time, Hinata was wearing a pure white dress with patterns of red maple leaves on it, which looked stunning. Good morning, Naruto-kun. Oh, good morning. Naruto recovered from his sluggish gaze, and hurriedly touched his nose to hide his embarrassment. You look pretty today. Really? Hinata squinted his eyes when he heard the words, and narrowed them into a crescent shape. Of course, I never lie. Naruto said solemnly. Do you think I have lied in the past few years? No, succeeded in the heart. That's weird. Hey, go out to play, it's lively today. It's a must, I've long wanted to go out and play. Naruto has forgotten his decision just now, a joke. What did he just say? Ah, it smells so good. Give. At this time, Hinata picked up a package from the side and handed it to Naruto. Naruto suspiciously. What at this time? It smells like a bit. This is a bento, I know you must have not eaten now, I will bring it over. Hinata. Naruto's face was moved, it feels so good to not have to cook. Secretly glanced at Naruto, Hinata pursed her lips, she had been busy for today's lunch for a long time. Hyuga flower field. Exist. Do you think my father failed a bit? Hyuga Hinata hesitated. As this, probably not. Will not. Hyuga Hiyashi sneered. I have never received a bento made by Hinata for me. I thought she made it for me yesterday, but not now. I went to Naruto's kid. Hyuga Hinata. How do I answer your words? Uzumaki Naruto. Hyuga Hiyashi gritted his teeth tickled with hate, why this scourge occurred. Dad, hug. Hanabi stretched out her pink hand. Oh, Hanabi, don't follow your sister in the future. Hyuga Hiyashi hugged Hyuga Hanabi and walked outside. On the 60th anniversary of Konoha village, he, the patriarch of the Hyuga family, also had to take a good rest. Hey, here. After eating a delicious bento, Naruto and Hinata walked on the street hand in hand, enjoying the excitement around them. Unknowingly, he came to the noodle restaurant of Yield Ramen. Inuzuka, who happened to see him, raised his hand to say hello and motioned for the two to go over. You guys are really leisurely, come to eat ramen in the morning. Naruto pulled Hinata to sit down, glanced at her and couldn't help but laugh. Not only Inuzuka's teeth are here, but Aburame Shino, Ino Shikacho are also there, and even Sasuke sits lonely on the sidelines. Although it seems out of place, it is considered to be together. A few people. Of course, basically where there is Sasuke, there are two girls, Sakura and Ino. The most important thing is that there are only a few places in Yield Ramen at this time, all of which are occupied by them. You guys are late. Inuzuka Toa held a toothpick in his shapelessly and looked at Hinata amusedly. At any rate, they are also a group of three, but Hinata was hooked up, which is a bit cheating. Shikamaru squinted, as if seeing Inuzuka's heartfelt voice, glanced at Ino, and sighed in his heart, Naruto and Sasuke are evil. Konoha Sanjihua is all in the 7th class. Egg hurts. Wow. The puppy Akamaru, who was lying on the top of Inuzukatooth's head, suddenly barked at Naruto, with a fierce and cute look. Oh, puppy, I want to find it uncomfortable again. Naruto raised his eyebrows and silently raised his hand. Akamaru shrank back in fright and shrank behind Inuzuka's back. He whimpered and walked away. Inuzuka Toa. This Akamaru was so timid to face Naruto. I also blame Naruto. When Inuzuka Toa clashed with Naruto, of course Akamaru had to fight for his owner. As a result, he rushed to bite Naruto's trousers with his newly grown teeth, and was kicked out by Naruto's conditioned reflex. It is conceivable that the blow to Hong Kong's foot caused a shadowy area in Akamaru's heart. So that Akamaru is now as scared as seeing Naruto as a mouse meeting a cat. Now that everyone is here, let's go and play. Today we can have a lot of fun. Inuzuka hugged Daisei Akamaru to make peace, aroused the approval of many people including Ino, and rushed out with a shout. Oh, it's really troublesome. Shikamaru supported his forehead, somewhat reluctantly. Let's go, this kind of day only happens once in 10 years, and it's okay to relax and relax. Alright, Naruto got up, pushed the chair that hadn't been hot yet, and looked at Sasuke. Sasuke, come with you too. Boring. Sasuke curled his lips, but followed. This is a day of carnival. All men and women, young and old, and ordinary ninjas all gather together to do various activities. This situation continued until midnight before the crowd gradually dispersed. Ah, it's better to go fishing, isn't it? Rubbing his swollen belly, Naruto smiled helplessly. Today, I have eaten a lot of things I haven't eaten before, and my stomach is full. How can I sleep? I got up and walked to the door of the window to open it, looking up at the sky, the bright moonlight shone in, and the shadow elongated diagonally. When the night is quiet, I occasionally think of everything in the previous life, as if it was just a dream. 5 years. A sigh came from the room, mixed with a trace of melancholy. After the excitement, all that is left is loneliness. Ha, ha. In Hokage's office, Sarutobi Hiruzen kept smoking. The room was full of smoke, and even more smoky. Looking at the task list in his hand, Sarutobi Hiruzen was lost in thought. I carefully checked the team that had recently done the task, and surprisingly found that only Kakashi was the only class that had no tasks, and was still in a state of self-cultivation. Then, do you want to entrust this task to him to complete it? Sarutobi Hiruzen was holding a C-level mission in his hand and was lost in thought. This is a task to go out. The task is very simple, is to escort a person to the country of Echo. Nami is a country without ninjas. It is occupied by a businessman named Kato. The mission this time is for Dasna to come to Konoha in order to build a bridge to make the country prosperous and powerful. In the original work, it was the first C-level task Naruto received. This is also the first time Naruto has walked out of Konoha village. Namibia is a small island country surrounded by the sea and connected to the outside world by only one bridge. The number of domestic ninjas is almost zero, the economy is poor, and the people live in poverty. And this bridge was built at a later stage. In the early stage, there was Cardo, and no one dared to build a bridge, so that people who wanted to go outside could only take a boat. This made the country of waves basically in a closed state. So that the economy is very weak. Sadasna came to Konoha and asked for support. I think it's okay to be an escort mission. I disagree. Danzo waved his hand and swept away the surrounding smoke. He looked at Yuan Fei and said coldly, Jinchuriki is the ultimate weapon of a hidden village. Such people are very dangerous. The ninjas in the other villages have not left their eyes. You said you let Naruto go out and do the task, who is responsible for things that go wrong. I agree with Danzo on this point. Udatain Kaharu and Midokado Homura, who have been silent all the time, glanced at each other, and said in a deep voice, it's not that we refute you, it's that Jinchuriki is too dangerous, and Naruto has always been lazy, he wouldn't like it. Don't talk about it. Sarutobi Hiruzen has been silent. At this time, after hearing Udatain Kaharu and Midokado Homura's words, he finally raised his head firmly and said, I believed them. Kakashi followed me and I don't think there is any danger in doing a C-level mission. If something goes wrong, I am responsible. After a glance at Danzo who was hesitant to say something, Sarutobi Hiruzen waved his hand and interrupted what he was about to say. A person needs to grow, especially Jinchuriki. This is what Killer Bee of Cloud Shinobi Village has done very well. We should tell him learn. But Naruto is not Killer Bee, and Killer Bee is not Naruto. How did you know Naruto couldn't do it? Seeing Danzo's unanimous opposition, Yuan Fei asked. Danzo, isn't that obvious? A lazy Jinchuriki is on the same level as Killer Bee. It's not me. Danzo looks down on Naruto, but really doesn't think he can do it. I have decided, in my heart Naruto is not Jinchuriki, he is Naruto of Konoha village, Uzumaki Naruto. Sarutobi Hiruzen glanced sharply at the elders present. At this point, I hope you will not be confused, and the others will be fine, but you all know what's going on. Ha, Sarutobi, I hope you don't regret it. Danzo's face was blue, and he slammed the door out. The others looked at each other and left one by one under the leadership of Udatane Kaharu. Sarutobi Hiruzen, this is a few years old, still so naive, Konoha village will collapse sooner or later in your hands. Back to the roots, Danzo was furious. I feel a deep shame when I think of everything about the meeting just now. In his mind, Uzumaki Naruto has done very well as Jinchuriki, very well. Lazy and motionless all day, rarely walk around. Danzo was very pleased and very happy at the time. In this regard, even if Sarutobi Hiruzen made him a ninja, he did not object. But now, this naive partner wants Uzumaki Naruto to go out of the village. What does he want to do? Did you suspect that Jinchuriki was not caught? I think of Kushina, who was a spinner back then, was almost caught when she was young, and she was taken advantage of and lost her life during childbirth. This is still in the village. If this is out of the village, it's worth it. Danzo shuddered at the thought of Jinchuriki being captured by ninjas in other villages. If strategic weapons are lost, Konoha village will fall into absolute passiveness. By then, Danzo has no doubt that the fourth ninja war will definitely break out. Konoha village is no longer the ninja village that can suppress dissatisfaction on its own. The fall of Uchiha, Sanin's departure, Hokage's old age. Konoha village at this time is definitely the weakest time ever, but fortunately, Jinchuriki was shocked. Otherwise, Danzo was deeply annoyed. Once Naruto has an accident, it will affect his whole body. No, it's better to. Danzo stood up with a sullen expression, and with a wave of his hand, the jar on one side shattered directly, and a small white snake appeared in Danzo's eyes. What? Let us go to the country of Poland. Naruto looked at Kakashi in surprise, a little unbelievable. I heard from Shikamaru's partner a few days ago that it usually takes 2 or 3 months for Xiaomengshin who just graduated to have a break-in period. Why did you ask them to do sea-level tasks? The most important thing is, it's still the mission of the Wave Country. Is this the corrective power of the legendary world? Naruto murmured to himself. He didn't go to third generation to make noise, but he didn't expect that this task would still fall on his head. But, this is good too. Naruto thought. According to his knowledge of the region, this country of waves is an island country, very poor, but surrounded by abundant aquatic products, so it happens that he also likes fishing very much. Occasionally, it's not bad to change a place to go fishing. Yes, because many ninjas in the entire village are not free, so this mission has come to us, but that's okay. I think Sasuke and Sakura are a little impatient. Kakashi gave Sasuke and Sakura next to him a second, and the two were even more impressed. Only you can endure this tedious task that is endless every day. Let's go. I'm just here to inform you today, and I will gather at the entrance of the village tomorrow. Kakashi waved his hand and the team disbanded. Are you leaving the village tomorrow? When he got home, Naruto lay on the rocking chair and fished, his thoughts fluttered. After 5 years, he has never been out of the village, and he is very curious about everything outside the village. But it was just curiosity, he wouldn't go out even if he didn't care about him in the village. Out of the village, sooner or later there will be this opportunity, but I really didn't expect this day to come so suddenly. I don't know what third generation thinks. When Naruto shook his head and just thought of getting up to pack things, the fishing rod in his hand suddenly shook, almost falling into the water without any preparation. It's coming. This scene surprised Naruto, surprised and excited at the same time. How long has it been? How long has it been since the arrival of goods? Naruto raised his head, barely letting tears stay in his eyes. Good stuff. Do you know how hard I was waiting for you? I was waiting day by day and night by night until I finally waited for you. At this moment, Naruto really wants to sing a song, finally waiting for you. Cough. Nothing. Naruto calmed down, holding the rod tightly with both hands. Chakra surged and poured into the rod, making the rod tougher. I don't know what good things will be this time. Naruto was expecting fiercely in his heart. The first time it was like a storage ring, the second time was a potion, the third time was the water of life, and the fourth time was the battle compass. For 5 years, he almost never stopped. But there are only 5 good things. On average, 1 piece a year, and now I finally have something good again. For this thing, Naruto is looking forward to it. Today is different. Without the interference of 9 tails, the little fish still wants to shake the sky. Feeling the constant power coming from his hands, Naruto let out a low drink, and the veins on his hands were bare, as if they were bursting out. Under Naruto's full burst, the fish at the bottom of the river finally couldn't resist Naruto's mighty power, and was directly pulled up. Oh, it's another carp, it's really funny. Seeing the fish being pulled up, Naruto raised his eyebrows, new and old hatred came to his heart together. The carp lost all Hinata's affection last time, and this time the carp is here. You are afraid that you are not looking for death, so I will kill you tonight. With a secret voice, Naruto wiped it casually, a bottle appeared in his hand, and he raised his hand to look at the label, bodybuilding pill. Bodybuilding pill, the best. It comes from the low-level plane of Shanwu world. It has found the foundation, strengthens the body, and can exercise the bones and bones. Note: forging body needs to be cautious, do well and cherish. Naruto, bodybuilding pill, good stuff, but what's the matter with your remarks later? Don't you know that this sentence of yours will make people dare to be scared? It seems to be an illegal product. Of course, Naruto also knows that the products produced by the system must be high-quality products. Even if it comes from fishing, it is a boutique. The bodybuilding pill, I don't know what kind of improvement the Shanwu world's bodybuilding pill has on this plane. Naruto muttered, expecting a little. I looked at the sky, it was still very early, and I was not in a hurry at this time. Wait for me to take a shower and change clothes, and choose a good time to eat this bodybuilding pill. Now take this opportunity and feel lucky to continue fishing. Yo, Naruto, I heard that you are leaving the village tomorrow, I really envy you. Ino just happened to pass by, and when he saw Naruto fishing as usual, he couldn't help but envy and said, which is like us, alas, let's not say it. In your words, if you say too much, it will be tears. Calm down, HMPH. Don't get too proud, sooner or later we will be able to get out of the village, you are just 1 step ahead. Hi. Naruto waved his hand weakly. There is nothing to earn from this thing. The left and right sides are not outdated, meaning that they will come first. In the end, they are not going to go out. Go, by the way, my flower shop is almost out of flowers, do you still have flowers there? I will accept them all. Yes, of course. Naruto nodded hurriedly after hearing this, I will throw it away if you don't accept it. These are things that Hinata doesn't like. They are sold to you at a bargain. What am I? Ino almost spit out old blood. You sell me what Hinata doesn't want, it's so obvious that you have to be biased. Ino looked at Naruto with a grimace, and acted like a baby, Naruto-kun. I'm going to you. When Naruto saw the good thing on the touch, he threw it out. I love a piece of wood. Shenshia version. The powerful features make many male practitioners treat them as treasures, with long-lasting endurance and very precious. It is one of the best treasures in the home. It is loved by deep people. Naruto, there are all these things, and I don't know who made them. Feeling aggrieved, does Lousy still need this? Isn't this nonsense? Oh, forget it. Naruto picked it up. It was a good thing anyway, maybe it will be needed in the future, even if it is not needed, it can be used to collect it. After picking it back, Naruto stopped. No way, my mentality burst when I caught this thing, and I'm not in the mood. Let's wash and sleep, we will leave tomorrow. In a blink of an eye, the next day came. The continuous rain keeps falling, and the breeze makes people feel a little chilly. Aha, Naruto yawned and opened the window, frowning at the spooky weather. Shouldn't the sun be shining in the first time out of the village? What the hell is it raining? Naruto-kun. A call broke Naruto's contemplation, and looking down, he found Hinata standing beautifully under the eaves. Hinata, what are you doing here early in the morning on a rainy day? Don't be afraid of the cold. Naruto hurriedly went downstairs to open the door, and complained, didn't I give you the key? You can come in by yourself. Why are you standing under the eaves and blowing the cold wind? Look, your hair is a little wet from the rain. It's okay, I haven't been here for long. Come on, don't talk, I'll blow your hair first. Naruto took out the hair dryer and plugged in the plug to blow Hinata's hair. While blowing, he asked casually, it's raining today and you are here so early. Is there anything wrong? No, it's just Naruto-kun, you are going out to do the task and give you a bento to eat on the road. Naruto's eyes lit up, and then he sternly said, it's forbidden to do this in the future. It's not good to catch a cold on a rainy day. Single quote. Oh, Hinata looked down. Alright, I accept the lunch, and then again, it's just the country of Dalbo, and I will be back soon. Hinata nodded obediently. Okay, if it's okay, you can wait here until the rain stops and then go back. Everyone should be there at this time, so I'll leave first. Checking the time, Naruto picked up the lunchbox and set off on the road with the package he had packed up yesterday. Behind him, Hinata silently watched Naruto leave. Ms. Kakashi, here I am. At the gate of the village, Naruto saw Dasna holding an umbrella and wearing a fur coat. Sure enough, it is him. Seeing Dasna, Naruto was not surprised. As soon as I heard about Naruto in Poland, he thought of this guy, the bridge builder Dasna, one of the people who changed the poverty situation in Poland. Sasuke and Sakura haven't come yet. Not yet. Little Sakura went to Sasuke. Hearing what Kakashi said, Naruto could only sigh. Sure enough, Sakura really loves Sasuke. You were right. Kakashi thought so. Even his teacher was thrown behind by the little Sakura. Hey, you are the kid who is going to accompany me to the country of waves. It doesn't seem to be reliable at all. Dasna was upset, and he paid for it somehow. How big is Konoha village? It's just a little girl just now, but now a shorter one is here. Listening to them, it seems that there is still a small one. What is going on in the end? Not reliable at all. I'm not reliable, are you reliable? Naruto felt that Dasna's disgusting gaze was displeased, and he went back directly. You are reliable and won't come to Konoha village for help. You. Dasna's face was pale, and he looked at Kakashi angrily. This is your kid from Konoha village. No quality at all. First of all, we are ninjas. Don't underestimate anyone. Second, if you disrespect, first, I think we are much better than you in terms of quality. Kakashi smiled indifferently and squeezed casually. Just kidding, you are an ordinary person. Do you really think our ninjas are very kind? Dasna, it's Konoha shinobi, I will bear it. But, can this combination beat the ninja hired by Cardo? Dasna was deeply worried. Don't be overthrown by the ninja on the other side. When the three of them were silent, Sakura and Sasuke, who were holding umbrellas, walked deep and shallow in the distance. Well, now that everything is here, let's go. Seeing this, Kakashi waved his hand. Let's go. I am out of the village, but unfortunately the weather is not good, the rain is endless, and the distance seems to be shrouded in dense fog. But it didn't affect the interest of Naruto's trio. Strictly speaking, it is their first time out of the village, and they don't know what the world outside the village looks like. Usually, I can only listen to the old people talking about the world outside the village. Now the opportunity is here, of course you must appreciate it. Our Konoha village is about half a month away from the country of Paws. I will give you special training along the way. Of course, you can practice by yourself when you are free. Kakashi and Dasna walked ahead, without looking back, saying, the outside is no better than the inside of the village. The dangers are everywhere outside. You have to be careful. Single quote. Know it. The three of them lacked interest in Kakashi's proposal, but Sasuke had a hint of concern. For practice, he will always be more persistent than ordinary people. I have to say that due to the existence of ninjutsu, the natural environment outside is very good, with rows of big trees standing side by side, very neat and clean. It is said that this was built by first Hokage with its unique wood style, and it has been 60 years. Behind these big trees is the virgin forest. These forests were not pushed by Konoha village due to the complaints of the Nara and Aburame clan, and they became a place for them to raise deer and insects. Of course, people from the Yamanaka clan occasionally plant some flowers and plants here. So strictly speaking, the area of Konoha village is average, but the surrounding land should also belong to Konoha village. In the case of the highway, there are ninjas who specialize in earth style regularly reinforced, so even if the light rain continues, there is not much muddy. Naruto was sincerely amazed. With ninjas in this world, many things are much more convenient. At least, ordinary people want the aisle to be much easier than before. It took half a month to reach the country of waves, which was based on the speed of an ordinary person. Kakashi and the others are not in a hurry. Anyway, the time set by the other party for this task is 20 days. There is plenty of time, more than enough. In this way, about 3 days later, the weather gradually improved and there was sunshine on the ground. Ah, Tenten is very angry today, so take a break to set up today's spiritual mission. Kakashi squinted at the sky, and said solemnly, it has been more than a month since you graduated, and you have the necessary cooperation. Then we can proceed to the next step of training. The next step in training. Sasuke's eyes lit up, expectant. Little Sakura followed Sasuke, no problem. As for Naruto, I can't wait to find a place to fish safely. Fishing has become a habit, and this is a sudden rush, and it feels really uncomfortable to have no time to fish. I feel like I have lost 100 million yuan, Mr. Kakashi, stop talking nonsense, just talk. Kakashi glanced at Naruto and shook his head helplessly, in this way, you follow me. First, attach your chakra to the soles of your feet, just like this. Following Kakashi's guidance, the three of them looked intently. You can see chakra surging under Kakashi's feet, and then Kakashi raised his foot on the tree trunk and walked up step by step, very smoothly, like walking on the ground. Now, that's it, today's spiritual mission is, climbing a tree. Is that so? It's easy. Little Sakura stepped on the trunk gently and walked up to the big tree, standing on a branch in a daze and inexplicably jumping for joy. It's quite simple, I know this thing a long time ago. Naruto yawned, and the abuse in his dreams over the years was not in vain, and he believed that he was not weaker than others in controlling chakra. Kakashi, Sasuke. The two were speechless, especially Sasuke. He watched Naruto and Sakura climb up with ease. So, I can too. Sasuke is a fan of self-confidence, isn't it just climbing a tree? Boom. Sasuke's head is facing the ground, thinking silently. Who am I? Where am I? What am I doing? I'm the first in grade, but I can't compare to a crane tail and a little Sakura who is theoretically the first to actually play against weak chickens. What happened to this world? Sasuke felt that the world was full of malice against him. Kakashi was embarrassed. Some didn't know what to say, so he could only comfort him, it's okay. It's easy to say, and difficult to say. I believe you will learn it soon. Sasuke stood up blankly and continued. He didn't want to lose, especially when he couldn't beat the tail of the crane, how could he get revenge on that man? Although knowing that Naruto is not easy, his inner thoughts cannot be changed in a short while, especially his arrogant personality. Sasuke, come on, I am optimistic about you. Naruto followed Kakashi with a smile, and the wild people couldn't fish. Fortunately, there were books to masturbate. As for the little Sakura, of course he will accompany Sasuke. Seeing Naruto's back, Sasuke's heart pierced, gritted his teeth and continued. Oh, Nine Tails Jinchuriki, Uzumaki Naruto, it's interesting, the old third generation guy is so bold, isn't he afraid of Jinchuriki being taken away? Orochimaru looked at the secret letter sent by the White Snake and couldn't help but smile. Master Orochimaru, this is an opportunity. Kabuto, you were right, but I can't go away. Looking at his own experiment, Jinchuriki is very tempting, but the experiment in front of him is still important. As for Jinchuriki, Orochimaru thought of the mysterious Akatsuki organization. Then we can't give up easily, and as far as I know, Cardo in the Nation of Waves will not be cut after being hired. Don't cut it anymore. Orochimaru nodded when he heard the words. Gaijin will not be cut again, a good name, if it were him, Kakashi would not have passed the level so well, then. Orochimaru thoughtfully said. Sake, go, if you were lucky, you may be able to pick up the leak, even if you can't. Don't you use Red Lotus? No, Jinchuriki is not that easy to catch. I don't believe that the old man in third generation is not defensive, and Danzo can't easily believe it. So, then I'll call Sak. Yakushi Kabuto thought for a while, ready to send a message to Sak. No, Kabuto, you go to inform yourself, and then go to Konoha to lurch. I think Danzo will cooperate with you well, won't you? Hehe, yes, Lord Orochimaru. Yakushi Kabuto was taken aback, and his heart was slightly hot. Is the plan about to start? Look forward to. Then I'll go first. Yakushi Kabuto suppressed the excitement in his heart and withdrew quietly. Teacher, you are getting old. In the laboratory, Orochimaru's long sigh rang out and gradually dissipated. Kakashi and the others knew nothing about Orochimaru and others. In the past few days, Sasuke has been trying hard to train to climb trees. He has made a lot of progress. It is estimated that he will be able to complete his practice in 1 or 2 days. Therefore, the qualifications of the Uchiha clan are really good. On this day, the 5 people walked on the road as always. Passing by a small puddle, Kakashi did not squint, Sasuke thoughtfully, little Sakura felt nothing. Naruto stared at the puddle silently, then glanced around without a trace. These few days have been the sun, where there will be puddles. This betrayal is unprofessional. Naruto sighed softly in his heart, and after despising, a small bottle appeared in his palm after a while. Open it, and silently drip a half of the powder in the water. Then he put his hands on the back of his head casually, whistling, and looked ignorant. Kakashi brows, this Naruto, what is it with a moth? What is in that bottle? Kakashi was a little itchy, and wanted to know, barely suppressing the curiosity in his heart. In this scene, apart from Kakashi, even Sasuke did not see it. The ninja hiding in the water didn't pay attention either. Their eyes are always fixed on Kakashi. This person is the biggest threat. Other brats, nothing to worry about. Grumpy, the puddle bubbling, and a person pays slowly from the puddle. First, King, Brush Lala. The two directly tied Kakashi like iron chains. With a slight force, the blood splashed and turned into pieces and fell to the ground. What? Suddenly passing away, little Sakura was completely stunned, screaming at a high decibel level. With a look of horror, her feet seemed to be filled with lead, and she shivered. Ms. Kakashi. Following us for several days, and finally I can give it up. Naruto raised his brows and stood in place looking at the two ghost brothers indifferently. Looking at his vest, it is Chunin undoubtedly. And it's Kurigakure's Chunin. No, it should be a betrayal. Oh, it's quite calm, so let's choose you as the second one. Gito raised his brows and looked at Yeto. His body suddenly appeared behind Naruto, and the chain in his hand shot out again. Not good. Sasuke was horrified, and rushed to help in a hurry. However, the next moment, Sasuke was stunned. When the chain struck from behind, Naruto suddenly leaned back and avoided the chain's attack. At the same time, when he leaned back, his hand had reached his back and pulled out the fishing rod, slammed. The fishing rod was restored, and the fishing line shot straight out, directly piercing the heart of the head. Head of industry. The ghost head and his guts were cracked, and he felt his head sink and click when he was about to say something. Only a minute before and after. Brother Gito, pawn. Mission is destroyed. Naruto retracted the fishing rod calmly and squinted at the place where Mr. Kakashi was killed. When the smoke dissipated, it was surprisingly found that it was just some wood. There was a clap of applause from behind, and he turned to look, knowing when Kakashi had appeared behind them. Not bad. Kakashi looked at Naruto appreciatively. You are very strong, although it is only a short move, but the grasp of the timing is unparalleled, very familiar. It is difficult to imagine that you are a person who has not been out of the village and has no combat experience. Thanks to the awards, just so. Kakashi. Praise you are still breathing. Ms. Kakashi, are you okay? Little Sakura looked at Kakashi in surprise, the worry on her face gradually subsiding. I just wanted to see the cooperation between you, but I didn't expect Naruto to solve them alone. Kakashi feels. Although these two people are not strong, they seem to be Chunin, but they are a little weaker than the average Chunin, but they are experienced and can also kill Chunin. However, these two people were vulnerable to Naruto. Naruto's movements had no extra means at all, and some were just a one-shot kill. Whether it is piercing the heart of Karma or appearing silently behind Gito and twisting his neck, it shows Naruto's control of his own chakra and superb experience of fighting. Also, Kakashi suddenly looked at the stunned owner, and said coldly, aren't you going to explain something? I don't think these two mist shinobi rebels are here to chase us. Dasna. Seeing Dasna's silence, Kakashi flipped over Byakugan, turned and left. As he walked, he said, let's go, the left and right trip is worthwhile, and the two mist shinobi's rebellious heads have at least made up for the loss. Don't. Dasna hurriedly followed Kakashi's pace with a bitter smile, and sighed, I can't help it. Our country of paws is almost unable to live because of Kado. Next, Dasna revealed some of the current situation of the Namibia and looked at Kakashi pleadingly, please, help us. I really can't help it. I will add it after this mission is completed. Remuneration. The crux of the problem is not this, but this kind of task has exceeded the scope of the C level and reached the stage of the B level task. Understand, I will add money. Kakashi was silent. Ms. Kakashi, go. At this moment, Naruto spoke suddenly. The Sasuke trio looked at Naruto abruptly with weird expressions. What are you doing? What are your eyes? Naruto was taken aback, stepped back and looked at the three of Sasuke warily. I'm just surprised. With your lazy personality, would you take the initiative to say that you want to find trouble? That's right, Sasuke is right. Even Kakashi looked at Naruto curiously. This is really not Naruto's character. I am compassionate to others, understand how pitiful the country is. As the first hidden village, we need to borrow others' troubles. At this moment, Naruto seems to be possessed by a saint. Dasna stood by with a splendid splendor, and this little devil, whom he had previously looked down upon, would actually support and help them in the nation of waves. I think you have another purpose. Naruto. Sasuke glanced sideways, telling the truth. In that case, go ahead. Kakashi glanced at Naruto thoughtfully, then nodded. Although Naruto is a little lazy, he is generally considered to be very reliable, probably because he is disliked by others, which leads to him being very mature although he is not very old. At this point, I am afraid that Sasuke can't compare it. Failed. In the hut in the woods, he immediately sat on the sofa without slashing the sword, a little silent. Are you confirmed? Yes, I won't cut the lord again, it is indeed Kakashi. Copy Ninja Kakashi. Interesting. Hearing Bai's words, he didn't cut the corners of his mouth and smiled. He didn't expect such a big fish to appear when he thought it was just an ordinary assassination mission. Then my uncle will do it yourself. Without beheading, he drew out the beheading knife behind his back and swung it. I'm going to see if Kakashi has gained a reputation. Single quote. Be careful, don't cut the lord again. Bai was silent for a moment, his voice erratic, and slowly disappeared into the wooden house. On the other side, a group of people continued on the road. As they walked, Kakashi walked to Naruto's side and asked in a low voice, "What is the powder you just spilled?" Kakashi thought it was something harmful, but later found out that it was not. Because if it is, then Ghost Head Brother probably has no room for action. With Naruto's idea, Kakashi felt that Naruto was really serious, and Geto probably didn't have a chance to make a move. Chapter 51. Naruto thought for a moment, then slowly said, "It's pepper." Pepper. Kakashi looked weird. Are you okay to sprinkle any pepper? Cough. Sorry. Naruto scratched his head awkwardly. I wanted to sprinkle some lime powder. Hiss. Kakashi looked at Naruto in horror. Are you the devil? This is a ruthless person. Can't afford it, can't afford it. Guchin Town. On this day, Naruto and his team came to a small town. It's a small town, but it's actually very lively. It's a small town on the coast. You can see many merchants unloading goods here. This is Guchin Town. You can reach the country of the vortex by taking a boat from Guchin Town. Don't look at this ancient town so lively, but our country of waves. Dasna did not go on. Because the two are completely incomparable. Guchin Town is actually on the border of the fire country, and it is also protected by Konoha village, so the law and order is not bad, and there are petty thefts, but Konoha is famous, and it is fairly stable. Because of this, many merchants will hire some Konoha ninjas to do business here. Over time, this place has become as prosperous as it is now. That's the difference between whether there is a ninja or not. Dasna looked complicated. If there are powerful ninjas in the country of Wave, Cardo wouldn't be so arrogant. It takes about a day to get to the country of Poland by boat here, and it takes more than a day to reach the country of Poland. It's too late for Tenten today. We can rest in this ancient town and set off tomorrow. Kakashi squinted, and I have heard Guy say that the fish here is very delicious. Well, Mr. Kakashi is right. Dasna took a sip of wine and smiled with his palm. I ate it when I was building a building for Guchin Town. It was really delicious. Now, shall we go to eat fish at night? Little Sakura's eyes lit up and stared straight at Sasuke. Then it's so decided. Kakashi made a decision and then found a place to stay. After putting the luggage, Naruto disappeared. When little Sakura walked out after taking a bath, he didn't see Sasuke, nor Naruto. Only Kakashi was reading, Dasna was drinking. Can't help but wonder. It was only then that the two disappeared. Oh, Sasuke went to practice, as for Naruto, you know. Fishing. Little Sakura was speechless. Indeed, it would be a pity not to go fishing because of Naruto's character on a trip to the beach. A flat boat, put on a fungus, Naruto held a fishing rod, his eyes closed, and a wave of perception swept all around. All chakra changes within tens of kilometers could not escape his Kagura's eyes. That's right, it is the eyes of Kagura. Originally, Naruto didn't have the conditions to open Kagura's eyes, but the continuous consumption of monster meat over the years has gradually changed his physique, which naturally awakened Kagura's eyes. There is no one around, and no one can perceive anything, it's okay. Naruto opened his eyes, palmed his hand, and a bottle appeared in his hand. Bodybuilding pill. I didn't eat in Konoha village because I was leaving the next day, and there was no such gap on the road. The most important thing is that there are many people in Konoha village. There is secret surveillance by Anbu members. And now, there is no one around, and there is no danger. In that case, you can take it with confidence. I want to see the usefulness of this superb bodybuilding pill. With a low murmur, Naruto came to the seal with a thought. Boy, what are you doing here again? Nine Tails, who was resting with her eyes closed, opened her eyes and glanced at Naruto. You still have 3 monster meats that haven't fulfilled their promises. And Shin, good things are to be enjoyed slowly, aren't they? That's right, so, what are you doing here now? I want to ask you to help me protect the law. Faculty. Nine Tails raised her eyebrows. What do you want to do? See if we can explode in a short time. Oh, hearing what Naruto said, Nine Tails became interested. In the past few years, Nine Tails has also seen the magic of Naruto. This time I don't know what good things are. Out of curiosity in my heart, Nine Tails' voice was softer than ever. Go, I will protect the law for you. After all, if you die, I will accept this body. Naruto, can't vomit, do you really think I don't know the relationship between the two of us? Kurama of Tsunere, he cursed secretly in his heart, bid farewell to Nine Tails quietly, returned to his consciousness, and resolutely sent the bodybuilding pill in his hand into his mouth. Boom, the bodybuilding pill melted in the mouth and turned into a torrent into Naruto's body. The terrifying energy hit Naruto's body unscrupulously. Naruto's face flushed, and she felt the warm current continue to break through her body, impact, and waves of intense pain swept across her body. On the flat boat, from above, you can see a blushing shrimp-like person wriggling there, like a caterpillar. Nine Tails watched this scene horribly, speechless for a long time. Is it so ruthless to improve your strength? It hurts at the sight. Scratching the hair on her body, Nine Tails lay down on her stomach with a sad heart, vowing in her heart that she would not be able to provoke this guy. You have to be counseled at the critical moment. A person who is so cruel to himself will have no limit in the future. Time passed by every minute and every second. For some reason, Naruto feels that today has passed so long, it seems that a century has passed. For some time, Naruto sat up suddenly. The pain of the whole body receded like a tide, replaced by endless comfort. It's as if the whole body is transparent, and the strength is constantly gushing out. Naruto felt that his physical strength was a lot stronger. The most important thing is that I still haven't grown tall, cry. Slightly clenched his fist and blasted out a fist. Faintly, Naruto seemed to hear a sonic boom. Not bad. After suffocating 2 words for a long time, Naruto looked at her body with some impurities and raised her eyebrows, took off her clothes, and wiped it casually, and then she became calm. Isn't it just an increase in strength? There is nothing to be happy about. Calm, basic operation. With a faint smile in his heart, Naruto picked up the fishing rod again. Go with the flow. The endless sea gave birth to endless treasures. Guchin town is located in the seaside area, and naturally many anglers have been born. Naruto is a small boat, drifting with the flow. The fishing rod shook occasionally, catching some weird things. For example, Conan's glasses. For example, the fake jade pendant of Legend of Sword and Fairy. There are also the most pitted evil swordsmanship. All kinds of strange, 5 flowers 8 gate. Among them, the most are undoubtedly the flowers and plants of the ordinary world, and occasionally there are some high-tech products. Evil ward off sword spectrum. Naruto was thoughtful, thinking in his mind. He thought of Hidan. This guy seems to be an immortal existence, even if he is divided into 5 horses, he will grow up. So the question is, what kind of reaction will happen if he cuts him somewhere and makes him learn how to ward off evil after he connects it? Forehead. The inexplicable feeling is very interesting. The endless sea bears endless treasures. A drop of sea water is like a piece of the world. What good things will there be? Naruto was lying on the boat, expecting slightly. As for the improvement of strength, it does not happen overnight. Naruto does not lack chakra at this time, what he lacks is the means of attack. We have weapons, but ninjutsu has only learned 3 body technique and multiple shadow clone. Even Flying Thunder God hasn't gotten started yet. As for the future Rasengan, he has no clue. He is not a genius, nor is he possessed by a halo. The only system is very uncertain. So far, fishing has not caught any ninjutsu that can be practiced, which is very sad. Full of calculations, in addition to the monster meat, it seems that this bottle of bodybuilding pills is a direct increase in strength and potential. However, what's even worse is that each person can only take 1 pill. This is like the foundation of the world of Shenxia. How difficult the road is, I'm already very lucky, isn't it? Naruto looked at the sky with no joy or sorrow in his heart. Pursue his strength, in order to protect the one he loves, and to be a salted fish with peace of mind. Not interested. Fight for hegemony, dominate the world, or become Hokage with lower requirements. Boring. It would be better to have this time to go fishing for the heavens. The same sentence. I am a salted fish and I am proud. Suddenly, the fishing rod jumped again, and with a quick pull, Naruto pulled the little yellow croaker up. I grabbed this little yellow croaker and threw it into the wooden barrel. There was something more in my hand. Xiaobawang learning machine makes you love learning more. Naruto. The corner of his mouth twitched, and he threw his person into the space ring. All this stuff is out, why don't you come with a cockroach game console? It didn't take long. This time it was a large yellow croaker. Xiaobawang game console, you can play it, you will have a 0 test if you play with it. What am I? Hatch a hammer and leave. Naruto's mentality burst directly, and he put the fishing rod away and turned back. Yo, Naruto, you came back so early today. Kakashi grinned and was surprised. This Naruto has changed, and it hasn't been long since I went out today. Oh, I'm a poor man. It's better to sleep today and avoid fishing, so I'm back. What and what? Kakashi looked at Naruto dumbfounded. Sometimes I just don't understand what Naruto is saying. He will say all kinds of strange words, and I don't know where he heard it. Well, forget it, the left and right are also Naruto, the one and only Naruto, isn't it? Kakashi soon stopped tangling, and once again opened up the secret that Xiaoji and Pikachu had to say. As for Dasna, who came over quietly from the side, Kakashi ignored him. 2 color embryos. Squinting at Kakashi and Dasna, Naruto despised it in his heart. This Kakashi has broken through a new realm. Every day, he does not leave the book, and he does not know what is good. Naruto, who has watched thousands of copies, has no fluctuations in his heart. Isn't it the little yellow book? Who hasn't read it before? Think back then, cough cough. Thousands of resources, now, the past is unbearable to look back. After some repairs in Guchen town, Naruto and others continued on the road. For this reason, Dasna painfully rented a big boat to carry them forward. The big ship rides the wind and waves, breaking through the waves, aiming directly at the country of waves. Standing at a certain height, a cold murderous intent appeared on his face without being beheaded. His hand brushed the beheading sword, he seemed to be able to feel the desire passed by the beheading sword. And many more. Suddenly, without cutting his brows and frowning, his pupils shrank suddenly. What is that? But in the sea, a huge shadow cruising silently, heading straight towards the big ship of Kakashi. Hey, it's so big, it seems I don't need to shoot anymore, it's a pity. It was a pity not to shook his head, but his eyes stared at that shadow for an instant. He wanted to know what it was. At the same time, Naruto, who was lying on the boat fishing, suddenly felt something wrong, with a faint sense of crisis in his heart. He opened the eyes of Kagura's mind and his perception was unparalleled. Even if Kagura's eyes were not activated, he could feel some crisis in his heart. The most intuitive feeling is, he hasn't caught a fish for a long time. This is absolutely unimaginable for a sea area rich in resources. What happened? Naruto opened Kagura's eyes directly, but didn't find anything suspicious, and Naruto frowned. In Naruto's body, Nine Tails opened her eyes and twitched the corner of her mouth, revealing a faint smile. That guy is here, it's interesting. Naruto, what's the matter? Kakashi noticed Naruto's abnormality for the first time, and asked with concern. I don't know, I have a faint sense of crisis lingering in my heart since just now, but I just don't know where the problem is. Real, Kakashi snorted inwardly. Nine-Tails Jinchuriki is the most able to perceive good and evil, coupled with the ability of Kagura's mind and eyes that Naruto told him, the crisis of waiting should be detected soon. If the crisis Naruto said is true, where does the crisis come from? Kakashi's face gradually became serious. He found that since taking over Dazna's mission, things have repeatedly exceeded his expectations. This feeling is a headache. Look, what is that? Suddenly, little Sakura exclaimed, attracting everyone's attention. In the distance, weird and leaping lines, wandering here in droves. Naruto, is this the sense of crisis you are talking about? I don't know, but is this thing a piranha? It doesn't look like it. Naruto shook his head. He also only had a slight sense of crisis, but he didn't know where the crisis came from. He also didn't believe that if he was nearby, he would not be able to perceive it. This is not a piranha. I have seen a piranha, it's not like this. Why do you care about so much? Since you don't know, then don't let these fish come near. Sasuke stepped on the deck. Suddenly there were a few more swords in his hand, slightly hard, and flew out with a swish, accurately hitting a few of the fish. No blood. Everyone on the boat felt that their scalp was numb, and there was no blood in this thing. What's the matter? Get ready, Mr. Dazna, you follow me behind. Kakashi also felt tricky, and hurriedly guarded Dazna and Sakura behind him. Sasuke and Naruto don't worry too much, because his strength is obvious to all. Only Dazna and Sakura need to be protected. Roar. Suddenly, a low roar came from below, and this roar immediately attracted Naruto and the others' eyes, causing them to look down. Boom. Unfortunately, it is too late. A shadow suddenly appeared under their horrified eyes, and slammed into the big ship. Suddenly, the big ship was torn apart, and terrifying power surged onto the deck from the bottom of the ship. Suddenly, pieces of wood flew wildly, water spurted, and several people on the boat were all overturned out of reach, dancing in the air. Three Tails. With a rush, Kakashi took a breath, and could only watch Naruto and the others disperse with him, one after another about to fall into the water. Below, Samahata kept jumping one by one, staring at Naruto and the others above. In the eyes of these Samahatas, the chakra in their ninjas is full of temptations for them. This is Three Tails Iso, how could it appear here? Naruto fell from midair, looking at Samahata and Three Tails Isoji, who were staring down below, a little astonished, and at the same time he felt that the crisis was coming. Three Tails Jizen surprisingly didn't attack others, just stared at him. Naruto looked panicked. Hello, everyone is a ninja, why are you staring at me? Isn't Kakashi fragrant? Naruto touched his chin and dropped it, thinking about it, as if he had more chakra. Wrong. Is this the time to think about these questions? It is true that I want to escape this situation. I don't have many methods. Although chakra has almost a steady stream with the cooperation of Nine Tails, the combat effectiveness is not calculated in this way. Oh, it's still too salty, but you just can't stand me salted. Naruto glared at Three Tails Iso angrily, pinching ninja in midair calmly, shadow clone technique. Cho Shu Chen Zi Shu Hai Si Yin. Boom. A Naruto clone appeared in the air and grabbed the deity and threw it out. Naruto, who was thrown away, was sealed again, and another one appeared. So repeatedly, Sasuke and others looked straight. This operation, thief. Even Sasuke wanted to do this, but he felt his chakra silently and had no choice but to give up. Not everyone has so much chakra like Naruto, just like no money. Sasuke, don't move, this Isoki seems to be heading for Naruto. You focus on the Samahata in front of you, and protect the little Sakura and Dazna by the way. I will catch up and see. Kakashi gave a low drink, aimed at one of the largest wooden shards and placed the two on it, and then stepped on the sea and went straight to Naruto. Sasuke, this Samahata is not easy to deal with, okay. Little Sakura, help me. Good. Little Sakura nodded her head. Although she was not good enough, she was also a ninja anyway, so a little help would be fine. On the other side, Naruto squinted at Iso, and continued to fly in the air. The fishing rod in his hand smashed the water column that was constantly rushing up. Naruto couldn't help feeling irritated when he saw Iso's reluctance. Hell, when Lousy learns some powerful ninjutsu, you must look good. Flying Thunder God. Must learn. With Rasengan, the combination of the two is very powerful. There are also multiple shadow clones, which must be simplified to one printing method. But having said that, how did Naruto in the original work do it? Just after learning multiple shadow clone techniques, you can use one seal or even almost Muji, and you can use it anytime, anywhere. This is terrible. Gradually, over time, continents appeared in the distance. That's the country of Wave. Naruto was taken aback for a moment, but he didn't expect that he would come to Poland in this way. After I glanced at Iso, who had been supported by Kakashi, a faint roar continued to be heard, which set off monstrous waves on the sea. Sure enough, you can't fight this guy in the sea. Just glanced at Naruto and ignored it, falling to the surface of the sea, stepping on the sea and rushing forward. Only reaching land at this time is the best help for Kakashi. Iso is almost invincible on the sea, but when it comes to land, it is not so terrible. The only worry is Iso's runaway, which is the most troublesome. Click. Not long after, Naruto stepped onto the ground. Seeing Naruto set foot on the country of Nami, Iso screamed in anger, but he had no choice but to retreat. On the land, its combat power cannot be fully deployed, and it is also worried about those crazy ninjas. It doesn't want to be sealed again. Why is this big guy biting Naruto? If it weren't for Naruto's idea, he might have entered Three Tails' belly now. Glancing at Naruto on the far land, Kakashi looked complicated. This trip was really a loss. Go and pick up Sasuke and the others first, and then find Naruto. I want to come. Naruto should be safe now. Should you pick up Sasuke? Seeing Kakashi's movements, Naruto smiled, then I'll take a rest nearby. Thinking about this, Naruto randomly found an open space, took out a clean carpet from the space ring and sat on the floor. Afterwards, Naruto took out Flying Thunder God. In the past, Naruto was very lazy and rarely studied, but now it seems that if there is no means to face this kind of tail beast, it is still a bit insoluble. Especially fighting on the enemy's homeland. But then again, why is this Isao only staring at him? Naruto was lost in thought. It seems that I have never been out of Konoha village, why did this Three Tails stare at me? It shouldn't be Samahata alone. Although there were a lot of chakra in his body, it was still a little bit behind the tail beast. Ninja's practice only broke out after graduating at the age of 12. Not only do tasks meet the potential of life and death crisis, but also have sufficient nourishment for the growth of all aspects of the body. Therefore, although there are many Naruto chakras, they are still limited. This is really a headache. Naruto's head hurts, and suddenly his mind flashes, could it be related to Nine Tails? When I think of Nine Tails, Naruto's eyes are a bit bad. Isn't it really related to this guy? The more you think about it, the more possible. Naruto couldn't sit still. With a thought, he came to the sealed land and stepped on the water to come to the cage and stared straight at Nine Tails. Why staring at me like that? Nine Tails was a little guilty, turned it over, Byakugan turned around. Say, is it the grudge between you and Three Tails, and why don't you know that Three Tails came to remind me? Naruto feels aggrieved. Anyway, we can be regarded as friends, as for such a pit. Cut, if I remind you that you are already in the belly of Three Tails. Nine Tails curled his lips. At that time, it was really good. Forehead. Naruto was stunned, and then changed his mind to think about it. Three Tails moved very fast, and when Nine Tails reminded herself to make him come back to his senses, it was estimated that he was already in Three Tails' belly. After all, the seal has not been lifted, and Nine Tails has no way to talk to itself through the heart. But, Naruto still felt upset. Right. Suddenly, Naruto thought of something, and asked curiously, it's strange, I obviously have a keen eye, and coupled with the ability to perceive good and evil, why can't I sense Three Tails? Even Samahata, how do you feel it? Are you kidding me? Nine Tails directly lost a Byakugan upon hearing this. Who are they? Tailed beast. How good they were at the beginning, although occasionally they would be arrested for seals, but those seals would be cracked by them soon. Since then, it is still a free tail beast. However, the Konoha first Hokage joined the Uzumaki clan to seal them and become the so-called Jinchuriki. Since then, the miserable life of the tail beast has come. At the same time, in order not to be discovered and sealed again in the future, all the tail beasts worked hard to study the physique and other abilities of the Uzumaki clan. Therefore, it is now possible to seal without the Uzumaki clan's sealing technique, but it is not perceivable anymore. Even the existence of Kagura's heart won't work. Just kidding, the tail beast is not a good display. Awesome. Naruto is speechless, what else can he say? Who is right and who is wrong between the two? It can only be based on non-self races, and their minds must be different. Tailed beasts do not trust humans, and most humans use tailed beasts as tools. This is the root of the tragedy. Why? It has nothing to do with me. Naruto quickly relieved that this matter is all human matter after all. As long as there is thought, this situation will continue to be delayed. It can't be changed. It is also difficult to change. I don't seem to change anything. Just do your own thing. But having said that, Mrs. Kakashi and the others are really slow. After yawning, Naruto became a little drowsy, and simply picked up the fishing rod and continued fishing. Life is endless, fishing is more than just. And on the other side. Where is the Naruto? Where did you go? Kakashi and the others who had just landed were bewildered, and Sasuke and Sakura looked at Kakashi one after another. Well, maybe he is fishing somewhere. We are looking around. This ghostly weather is actually foggy, and the fog is a bit heavy. Kakashi was embarrassed. He knows where Naruto is, and is ready to take Sasuke and them together. God knows it will start to fog or not, and it is so big. Have to. I lost my way directly, and the islands that can go to the country of waves are already considered good. Alright, Sasuke sighed and the group looked for Naruto along the way. After all, according to their understanding, Naruto fishes whenever he has time. It should be easy to find. He, you have no chance, I think that golden-haired kid is dead. Suddenly, a chuckle came from the thick fog. Who? Kakashi and the others raised their brows, immediately opened their formation, and waited seriously. Dasna, you shouldn't be back, right, but it's okay, just kill you. This weird voice echoed all around, making Kakashi's face gradually dignified. Glancing at Dasna, who was a little nervous, Kakashi sighed softly in his heart. The matter was really big. I just met Three Tails, but now I have another tricky one. And although he didn't believe what he said very much, it was probably not very good on Naruto's side. This is really. With a secret curse, Kakashi touched his face mask. This thick fog was considered to restrain his strength, and the situation with Three Tails was not so good after adding it to the top. Ms. Kakashi. Little Sakura was a little nervous, took a peek at Sasuke, and finally fixed his gaze on Kakashi. Little Sakura, Sasuke, protect Mr. Dasna. Kakashi jerked out a scroll. Ready to fight. Tisk, there is fog over there, and the speed is so fast, it is estimated that it will spread here in a short time, a bit weird. Naruto, who was fishing, also saw the thick fog in the distance. Tisk amazed and didn't take it seriously. Thinking of coming to this time, Mrs. Kakashi should be coming soon. Suddenly, a shuriken came through the air and went straight to Naruto's ankle. When Naruto didn't look moving, his hands were slightly hard, the fishing rod swayed lightly, and he tapped the shuriken and shot it down. Slowly turned his head, his eyes fixed on a tree trunk. Above, a girl with a weird mask stood there quietly, supporting the tree trunk with one hand. Oh, your way of meeting is really special. Aren't you afraid of me? Why should I be afraid of you? Can you beat me? Naruto put the fishing rod away and looked at the girl quietly. Oh no, it's a boy. Familiar dress, familiar mask. Add his height. No longer, this is White. White, how could you run into him at this time? Naruto's heart jumped, some headaches. Bai's strength is very strong, there is no doubt about this, especially the blood succession boundary ice shield, which is a rare and powerful ability. Uzumaki Naruto, Konoha Genin, just grab it with your hands, you are not my opponent. White opened his mouth and looked at Naruto very seriously. Naruto, how do I know if I haven't played before, and I'm curious, do you really have so much confidence in you if you don't cut it? If that's the case, then no one blames me, offend. Bai raised his hand, Jayan. Water style secret technique 1000 killing water shong. In the next moment, countless ice needles condensed and went straight to Naruto. The ice needle, which almost obscured the sky, seemed to pierce the heart of Naruto with 10,000 arrows. Is it so cruel? Bai, it's not like you. Naruto waved his hand, and while the fishing rod in his hand was dancing, the fishing line turned into a buckler in front of him. Dang dang dang. There was a crisp sound, and the thin silk thread actually blocked all the ice needles in front, and none of them broke through the buckler. Ended. Suddenly, Bai appeared silently behind Naruto, making a seal with one hand. Ice shield crystal knot technique. Bai pointed out and pointed straight at Naruto. Boom. But suddenly, Naruto turned into smoke and disappeared. Amazingly, it is Shadow Clone. It's here. Naruto held a fishing rod and danced like a sword, hitting the white door directly. Kang. Bai took out his shuriken in front of him for an instant, and there was a cry of ice and iron, and the two of them fought together with their weapons in an instant. On the ground, the two figures kept flickering and began to fight in close quarters. Speaking of close combat, Naruto is not afraid of anyone. For so many years in the dream world, it is not white hitses. Every move is a killer. There are no extra moves. This made Bai a little tired of coping. Rao is that he has extraordinary strength under the training of no cut, and his physical skills are not weak, but he is still suppressed in the face of Naruto. This kid is amazing. He glanced at the dense fog for nothing. Can't go on like this. Ha! At this point, Bai Nian retreated abruptly and didn't pretend to be forced. His hands quickly formed seals, like a phantom. The next moment, Bai shouted, "Ice Escape Secret Art Mirror Ice Crystal." Chang chang. Pieces of hard ice mirrors rose from the ground, enclosing Naruto. When my mirror surrounds you, you have already lost. Bai's body appeared in the ice crystal, holding the ice needle Chiban, looking at Naruto indifferently. He doesn't like killing, but in order not to kill he is willing to make an exception to kill. This is his belief and his way of survival. Everything is respected by Mr. Never Cut. Naruto said nothing, looking at the ice crystals in front of him. A thought suddenly appeared in his mind. This is a mobile refrigerator, Big Summer Thief makes money. Well, you can also make an ice skating rink. Hiss. Do these bloody ninjas make money like this? Terrible, terrible. Then, I'm sorry la. Seeing Naruto didn't respond, a white brush came out from behind Naruto, holding the ice needle Senbon straight to Naruto's back. When, there was another soft sound, which was blocked by Bai Jing's gaze. How can it be? Bai was shocked. In his own blood succession boundary, his speed is unparalleled. How did this child discover it? Naruto turned his head and grinned. When it comes to speed, I am also a leverage. God knows that he can't beat those perverts in his dreams and can only harass them at a speed. So, speaking of speed, he is professional. Although Bai's speed is fast, there are traces to follow. So what? No matter how fast you are, you can stop it once or twice, but can you stop it 10 times 100 times? In my territory, if the ice crystals cannot be broken, everything is in vain. The white figure stepped back and returned to the ice crystal, waiting for an opportunity. It's so boring to fight and kill, how about we stop? Naruto looked at the white in the mirror inquiringly. Look, you are so beautiful, and you make money for everything. God gave you such a face to eat, why are you so hard? Naruto suddenly thought. Why don't we follow me? Let's go to make a movie. I promise you will be a female actor. Oh no, a male actor. The white face was expressionless. The shot is more neat. Naruto sighed slightly. It seems that there is no discussion. If so, then it will be broken. Once again blocking Bai's attack, Naruto slammed the fishing rod in his hand, and chakra injected it, making the thread of the fishing rod straight, directly piercing the seemingly indestructible ice crystal. Click, click. Bai looked at the ice shield he had condensed, and took a breath. This is impossible. Nothing is impossible. I still know the truth about Arrancar. At the moment when the ice shield was broken, Shiro revealed a flaw, and Naruto tied it firmly with a fishing line. Seeing this, Naruto chuckled, strolling to Bai's side, and said sincerely, "How, what I said is true. Let's talk if you can survive." He glanced at Naruto for nothing, closed his eyes lightly. If you don't cut Mr. Cut anymore, I'll lose. The kid in front of me is very powerful. Skills are not as good as humans, just call Nahi. On the other side, the dense fog gradually dissipated, revealing the figure inside. Dasna sat on the ground with a look of horror and confusion. Little Sakura stood beside Dasna, almost intact. Sasuke's words were a bit miserable, blood was flowing all over, his face was pale, and there were wounds everywhere. Kakashi was okay, but he also looked tired, and the shuriken in his hand was on his throat where he would not cut it again. Let's go and see together. If Naruto has a problem, you don't have to live anymore. Ha, if the uncle loses, it means that his skills are not as good as others. What's the difference between living or not? If he didn't cut Lang Hun, he was cursing secretly in his heart. Didn't this Kakashi consume so much chakra with 3 tails? Why is it still so difficult? The most important thing is that kid. He squinted at Sasuke, who was crumbling in Sakura's arms, and felt angry in his heart. Had it not been for this kid, it is estimated that history would have to be rewritten now. Now Konoha has just graduated from Genin so good. So, when Kakashi led them to find Naruto, they were speechless. Why are you here? But on the rocks near the beach, Naruto took a leisurely fishing rod. Behind him, a person who was trapped like a zongzi was also fishing, just a fishing rod with his mouth in his mouth. Don't cut again. Bye. What about your grace? What about your integrity? This scene makes no longer think about it, the look of the fishing rod, cough. It's evil. No more Mr. Cut. Bai's eyes are also extremely complicated. Lost, both of them lost. The two of them looked at each other, and they felt afflicted, Konoha Genin, terrified. Huh, Naruto, are you okay? Little Sakura trot to Naruto's side, looked up and down, a little worried in her eyes. Do you think I have something to do? Naruto spread his hands. You are too slow to come, I have caught several fish. Little Sakura. You are still good, but is there any medicine? Sasuke is injured. Naruto. I know that if you don't have anything to do, you will steal if you commit crimes. Give. He threw a bottle of medicine to little Sakura casually, and Naruto looked sad. Sure enough, only Hinata is my food, no one else cares about me. Little Sakura ran back again, came to Sasuke's side and asked him warmly, and carefully medicined him. Where's Sasuke? What's the matter of frowning with disgust and enjoyment? Kakashi won't be slashed anymore at this time, and will be knocked out even after fixing it. Only then did he breathe a sigh of relief, walked to Naruto's side, and looked at Naruto strangely. Naruto took a bit of cold, and took a few steps back quietly, looking at Kakashi warily. Kakashi-sensei, what do you want to do? I'm very curious, what is your upper limit of strength? I will tell you that I am a cage level expert, the kind of air every second. Go away, if you are cage level, am I not a super shadow? Kakashi almost kicked it. If you don't want to say it, don't say it. What the hell is cage level? You think cage level is Chinese cabbage? By the way, Mrs. Kakashi, what do you want to do with these two guys? As this, Kakashi pondered for a moment. Let's take it back and let third generation handle it. Can you let me talk to them? What do you want to say? It's okay, just want them to correct their evils and return to righteousness. Laugh. Kakashi sneered and looked at Naruto like an idiot. Just you, rely on it. If the mouth is useful, then they need to do what the ninja does. What is a ninja? Ordinary people can't bear it. Most ninjas are determined people. Their minds are extremely tough. No one can convince them. But Naruto insisted, and Kakashi nodded helplessly. It's okay to talk about it. It's impossible anyway. It's impossible in this life. No matter who it is, it will kill all the students in the same period, and it will also be a sneak attack on Mizukage, who is about to overthrow Mizukage's rule. If I can be persuaded simply and casually, I will eat, Shang. Kakashi stared blankly at Lao Yuan, who had been loosened by Naruto and stood respectfully next to Naruto, with wide-eyed eyes. What's the matter? I'm not dreaming, am I? Snapped. Kakashi slapped his face severely. Well, it hurts, not a dream. I bought a watch last year. Kakashi swears directly. Everything in front of you is like a fantasy. Oh, Naruto, don't you dare to write such a fantasy novel on your bookshelf. Sasuke and little Sakura also looked like they had seen a ghost. They only saw Naruto walk over and say something, and then, there was no more. As for White, he was also blinded. Who am I? Where am I? What am I doing? What did he hear just now? Yes, it is simply, one must be loyal to Uzumaki Naruto. Single quote. Then, no more. If you don't chop, you will be silly allegiance. Think about the horror. What is this ability? The legendary mouth escape. Naruto turned his head triumphantly. Look, it's still very useful to hide your mouth. In fact, Naruto used the only leaf potion. Explanation. Obey Uzumaki Naruto unconditionally for a lifetime and follow his orders. Well, there is also a white box included. This business is very good. As for why such precious things are used here, Naruto naturally has his considerations. How should I put it? Naruto's potential strength has not yet exploded. The trust with Nine Tails is still heating up, and there are still many ninjutsus that have not been learned. It is foreseeable that once Naruto learns Flying Thunder God, Rasengan, plus Nine Tails, his strength will soar again. Finally, maybe you can practice Sage Mode. In the end, it is estimated that Uchiha Madara can be slapped without the blessing of Sage of Six Paths. Afraid of a bird. The most important thing is that he has already figured out some rules of the fishing system of the heavens and the world. Probably it is related to the quality of the fishing rod. The better the quality, the more good things will appear. So, the main goal of Naruto in the future is to search for rare ores and improve the quality of the fishing rod. For example, decapitate broadsword. This is also made of a very good metal, which can absorb blood to repair its damage. If it can be integrated into your fishing rod. Naruto thought, whether the fishing rod can be in the last quality. Snapped. That's it. As for whether he agreed to not cut it again, Naruto grinned. I'm all loyal to him, and if I don't agree with anything, I just go back and get a knife from the grocery store. What a simple thing. Well, don't the ghosts cut? Huh, what do you call this, uncle? Don't cut it again, carrying the decapitating knife, and staring at Kakashi coldly. Ah, why are you loyal to Naruto? What do you think? Ha, no longer cut his face. The decapitating knife in his hand was directly in front of Kakashi, and Kakashi jumped immediately, reflexively stepped back and looked at him with alert. You are asking the young master to have a try, be careful I cut your third leg. Kakashi shivered tightly under his body. What should it be called? You should call the young master, or Uzumaki Naruto-sama. Kakashi, Sasuke, little Sakura, even Bai and Dasna looked terrified. This is brainwashed and thorough enough. Can't afford to provoke, can't afford to provoke. Take a walk, take a walk. Several people are on the road again, but the Kakashi people who are walking on the road are complicated in their hearts and do not know how to use words to express them. If the ghost doesn't cut it anymore, Naruto will hook him up like this. Doesn't this mean? Kakashi is musing. Konoha joined two more powerful ninjas. In the words of Bai, Kakashi also knows a little bit. The owner of the ice shield, that is the limit of blood inheritance. Just like this, I joined Konoha in a daze. What does third Hokage-sama think? What does Danzo think? Should it be jealous or jealous? Don't cut it again. Do you know how much money Cardo has? Do not know. Do not know. Don't nod it again. Although I'm employed in Cardo, I really don't know his assets, but from the details, he is very rich. Single quote. Yes, it's really rich. On the side, he wiped his mouth and said, people like this who often do bad things usually have a lot of money, which is ill-gotten wealth. That's it. Sure, don't cut any doubts. What's the deal? See, come this way. What do you see? If you don't cut it anymore, Naruto's absurd thinking makes him unable to keep up with the rhythm. Just now I said about Carduo's money, why suddenly I jumped to what I saw? Stupid, have you seen the country of Poland? Comparing with other countries. Don't cut silence again. I silently compared it in my heart, and nodded in agreement. Too poor. Yes, it's too poor. Naruto nodded. These are all caused by Cardo. How can a person like Cardo who is not benevolent and rich can have so much money? We have to walk away for the heavens. Understood, young master. Kakashi. Hey, Naruto, you have enough. It doesn't matter if you don't recruit. This is a ninja, but Kato is an ordinary person, and the ninja can't intervene in the affairs of these ordinary people. Are you not afraid of sanctions in the village? Naruto glanced at Kakashi strangely, with an expression of caring for the mentally retarded. What's your face? Kakashi was crazy. What's the matter with Naruto? He became so free as soon as he left the village. What about your laziness and your dream of salted fish? I beg you to come back. Kakashi is about to have a myocardial infarction. I'm always frightened along the way. Sooner or later I will have a heart attack. Did I say I want to do it? That's almost the same. I told him not to cut my hands anymore. It's not our Konoha village if I don't cut the left and right sides. I have even thought of the reasons. What reason? Sasuke on the side asked curiously. No longer, in order to show the sincerity of surrendering to me, I copied Cardo's home, and took his money to make a name certificate. Kakashi's face went dark. Is there any difference? The reason is grand sounding, but this. Why am I moving? Calculating silently, Kakashi chuckled, you have a share. Sasuke. Me too. Little Sakura. And me. Dasna raised his hand weakly, can I? Single quote. Naruto. Enough of you guys. I really thought it was easy for me to make money. Naruto looked at Kakashi and others with a sneer, and Dasna was quickly defeated. Also, if someone else helps you solve the problem, What else is he as embarrassed to ask for? On the contrary, Kakashi directly ignored Naruto's cold gaze, and said naturally, I am your teacher, I have to wipe your ass. I'm your teammate, every time I get prosperous, and every time I lose all. That's it. Naruto pondered. Is it too late to separate now? What do you mean? Quote. Sad, all bandits. Naruto's thoughts were broken in his heart, and his gaze was not cut again. Go, grab it for me, Cardo's business empire dream directly let him shatter. Having said that, people like this still want to build a business empire, funny. Don't you know that the flow of people is also an important stage? If the country of Nami is made into this way, short-sighted, and evil, this kind of person should be pulled and shot. Hey, my uncle has long seen him upset. A guy who is not even a ninja relied on his wealth to yell at me, look at me. Don't sneer again. Revenge is finally available. I didn't dare to move because of credibility before, but now. What kind of credibility do you want? It is enough to have a young master. Subordinates should look like subordinates. In short, even if it is notorious, it doesn't matter, the young master will support them. Oh, but I don't need to go, I still want him to act on TV for me, such a person can't be stained. What am I? Without cutting a stunned face, he looked at Naruto with a bit of resentment. Do you want to treat this differently? You will have no friends like this, okay. Finally, he left without cutting. Going to Carduo with endless grievances. Hey, I don't know what impact this incident will have. Kakashi has a headache, let people know if it is a mess. In order to ensure the safety of ordinary people, all major ninja villages have restrained ninjas, and they cannot attack ordinary people for no reason. This regulation has continued to the present. Once this is done, the consequences are unpredictable. But just as Naruto said, not beating at this time is rebellion, and rebellion does not belong to their jurisdiction at all. On the contrary, they have to get rid of this cancer. But, once someone knows that they will not be killed in Konoha village, tisk. It feels a bit bad. Don't worry, I have a way. Naruto waved, not caring at all. As a traverser, he still has a system, and he still has this way. And, I remember that people who don't cut their heads are very valuable, don't they? Hello, everyone looked at Naruto in horror, are you the devil? Are you using it to the end? Do you want to be so cruel? Bai even stared at Naruto with a look of resentment. If the lineup in front of him was not too strong, he promised not to kill Naruto. Torture doesn't count. Where did you want to go? Seeing the weird gazes of several people, Naruto shuddered, and then angrily defended, am I that kind of person? Single quote. Ha ha, several people sneered. Naruto, forget it, I'm tired, let's finish the task quickly. The country of waves. Next to Dazna's house, Naruto and the others easily built a wooden house. They will stay here for a few more days. When the bridge in Dajna is covered, you can go back without cutting back. It is expected to be about 2 weeks. That's half a month. As for the past few days, do their own things. Sasuke is busy practicing. Little Sakura was busy peeking at Sasuke. As for Naruto, this one is the most leisurely every day, either fishing or fishing. In short, everything seems to be very peaceful. Until one day. On this day, the wind is sunny and cloudless. There is no heat like summer. The breeze blows, and it feels very cool. Naruto still sits on a pole at the bottom of the bridge and fishes. It was just that the fishing rod was replaced by a normal one, and the fishing rod that was originally used was being held by Naruto. At that time, Naruto had a whim. The technique of Flying Thunder God can be engraved on the shuriken. As long as the shuriken is thrown out and the Flying Thunder God is activated, the shuriken can appear on the position. Time and space ninjutsu is so powerful. But do you have to shuriken? Can't it be something else? Naruto pondered, and fixed his gaze on the fishing rod. To be precise, it is on the hook. Think about it, the fishing rod is like a fish in your hands, isn't the position changed at will? The location is unpredictable, so don't be too strong in battle. The Flying Thunder God in the past has been very difficult, but the fishing rod is even more difficult. In this way, it can be offensive and defensive. From time to time, Flying Thunder God comes, and the enemy is tired of coping. This is the best move for me, Naruto murmured, scribbling the technique on the fish hook sternly. The technique of Flying Thunder God is very unique. Everyone can choose a pattern as the technique. If it is fixed, it cannot be changed. Naturally, Naruto can also be different. But seeing Naruto engraved on the fish hook faintly, it is a Chinese character, empty. Empty represents space. This is just a personal hobby, nothing else. But it is so difficult to engrave on the hook. After several failures, Naruto gave up directly. It's too difficult for me. Looking at the sea blankly, Naruto felt a little unlovable. Why do other traversers know what they want to learn at a glance, and he? If you don't say anything, it's tears if you say too much. Flying Thunder God, really a ninjutsu with top difficulty. Forget it, the talent is not enough, technology will come together. Naruto directly gave up the plan to portray the technique here, and tried to return to the home with the super magnifying glass in his heart. Maybe it can be done. Thinking about this, Naruto was relieved. Yeah, why I am so stupid. Hey, Naruto, don't you think something is wrong? At this moment, Kakashi jumped down and asked while sitting next to Naruto. What's wrong? Nothing. Don't cut it again, Naruto, it's been a few days now, if it goes well, don't cut it again, you should be back now. Huh, so too, has something happened? Naruto was silent. It seems that several days have passed. Kakashi. Hey, it doesn't matter how you are so, this is the subordinate you subdued. Suddenly, Kakashi was taken aback, thoughtfully, will he run away? He pretended to surrender before. Will not, are you so sure? Yeah, I believe him. Although he is a bit irritable, he still keeps his promises. He said that he followed me and he would not change. This is a dead brain. Alas, sometimes I am too. Love and hate. Kakashi, are you sure you said not to cut again? I don't look like it at all. Also, why do you believe him so much? Hey, I'm very confident. Besides, it's only a few days now. I guess Carduo has too much money to carry. Quote. Don't you have a bank card? How can it be done? No amount of money is in the bank card. Boom. As soon as the two of them stared at them with big eyes, suddenly a figure flew in. Naruto and Kakashi kicked it subconsciously and kicked it flying. What? There was a scream, blood spurted wildly. Naruto looked at Kakashi blankly. It's not me, I am not. Kakashi shook his head hurriedly. Just kidding, although he had kicked, he didn't use much force. It was purely a subconscious behavior. After all, he didn't feel the killing intent. But, why is blood spurting frantically? When Naruto and Kakashi looked at it, they were immediately shocked. Don't cut it again. How did this become such a bird? Ahem, Kakashi, you're so cruel. Without cutting it, he coughed up blood and pointed at Kakashi with anger on his face. Kakashi pointed at Naruto with an innocent look, he's got a kick too. Don't cut again. Good kick. Kakashi stared, and his mind exploded. Do you want to be treated like this? I kicked you and said I was cruel, but Naruto kicked you and said that I played well. What is going on in this world? Kakashi is unlovable, the gap between this person is too big. Let's talk about it, what's going on? Naruto also knew that something was wrong in Shanyu, and his strength was not weak. Although he was no better than Kakashi, it was definitely an elite Jonin level existence. In the early stages of the Hokage world, few people should be able to beat him like this. Cough. If you don't cut it again, he coughed up blood again uncontrollably, and smiled helplessly, I met Orochimaru. Single quote. What? Orochimaru? Naruto and Kakashi's faces changed wildly. How can Orochimaru appear in the country of waves? Funny. Especially Naruto, even more dazed. Isn't Orochimaru supposed to be ambushing the so-called Hokage at this moment? It seems that Konoha's collapse plan is about to be carried out, so it appears in Nami no country. Unscientific. Yes, it's Orochimaru. If it weren't for me to run fast, I would have been cool. He also fell in love with Nakaduo's money. Yes, we just had a face-to-face meeting, and I only grabbed more than half of it, and in the end I was chased by Orochimaru. Don't cut his heart and nodded with lingering fear. The legendary Sannin is the legendary strongman, and he gets tired of coping with a few ninjutsu. Naruto, we are no longer able to intervene in this matter. Kakashi looked solemnly. I suggest transferring immediately. That's too late. Naruto looked at the sea blankly. On the sea, there are snakes swimming, very cheerful. But Naruto knew that this was Orochimaru's scout. Hokage has a very interesting saying, where there are snakes, there is Orochimaru, where there are toads, there is Jiraiya. This is too exaggerated, but this is the case now. I think only Orochimaru's scouts will come. Ha ha. With a chuckle, Orochimaru ghostly appeared in front of several people, looking at Naruto and Kakashi with interest. The atmosphere will be extremely cold in an instant. Orochimaru, hook up with terror. Orochimaru. Kakashi is wary, this Orochimaru is coming so fast. Kakashi, I didn't expect that we would meet in such a situation, it surprised me. Orochimaru looked at Kakashi. The kid back then has grown up too. Why are you here? Someone robbed me of my money, so I can only catch it. Kakashi was silent. This reason, nothing wrong. Suffering from cardo, that's the hardest thing. So, although there are such regulations, it is really vulnerable to a truly powerful ninja. Is this Nine-Tails Jinchuriki? It looks very calm and has a good temperament. Orochimaru turned his gaze to Naruto, who was holding the fishing rod. He was a little surprised. This person is so calm. Hello Mr. Orochimaru, my name is Uzumaki Naruto. I have been admiring your name for a long time. Oh, how long have you been looking up? Orochimaru looked at Naruto with interest, this kid, interesting. Naruto was silent for a moment, the mountain stood up. He, don't think that you can please me and let me not ask for money. Tell you, it's impossible. Either take the money or die, it's that simple. Orochimaru he. If it wasn't for Konoha's collapse plan, he would arrest this kid now. You know, the tail beast is also one of his research. Orochimaru also studied a few things when he was in the Akatsuki organization. Poor those people don't put him in their eyes because of their strength, and they don't know that many things have been studied by him. It's like a tail beast. Their purpose is, the tail beast. He knows how powerful Rinnegan is. This kind of existence also needs a tail beast. What they want to do Orochimaru is interested to know. As one of the legendary Sannin, he clearly knows his strengths and weaknesses. So he set his sights on the tail beast. Of course, this is the second stage. As for the first stage, Orochimaru looked faintly on the bridge, where two people were rushing over. One of them is his goal. Uchiha Sasuke. This body is about to decay, and it is time to find a fresh body. Uchiha Sasuke, a member of the Uchiha family, is known as a genius, isn't it right for you? I think I can still fight it. Naruto pondered for a moment, then said seriously. Oh, then let me see the strength of your little devil. Orochimaru smiled colder. Now the little ghost has expanded with his strength, facing one of Sannin, he has no awe at all, I am so shameless. It seems that it should be a lesson. Hey, Naruto, don't mess with it. Kakashi is horrified, this guy is going to do it again. Who is the other party? The legendary Sannin Orochimaru. The strength is definitely not running, and your small body is not enough for him to stuff his teeth. Naruto, Kakashi-sensei, you're so persuaded, you're like 50-50. 5-5, what the hell? Kakashi looked dumbfounded and sounded awkward at the name, but always felt that it was not a good thing. HMPH, the battle between ninjas is changing rapidly, you are still in the mood to chat, let's see your strength. Orochimaru snorted coldly, raised his hand to his mouth, bit his finger and pressed it to the ground, summoning 10,000 snakes. Boom. A huge snake appeared on the sea, spitting out the snake's letter and rustling. Orochimaru stood on top of one snake and looked down condescendingly. On the bridge, everyone. Frightened, disturbed. Walt, what a horrible snake is this? Dasna grabbed Sasuke who was about to pass by, and asked with horror, little ninja, what is this? Snake, you have never seen such a big snake. Facing Sasuke's question, Dasna was silent. No one knows about snakes, but such a big snake, sorry, I haven't seen it yet. Not only have I never seen it, but I have never heard of it. Little Sakura. There is still a person standing on the big snake. I know, I saw it in the family records, it was Orochimaru. Orochimaru's little Sakura's eyes widened, and she was a little frightened. That, Renin, how could he be here? The ghost knows. Sasuke turned around silently. It's not that he doesn't want to go, but it's a burden to go, so don't make trouble at this time. Thinking of this, Sasuke took the little Sakura and hurriedly ran away. No, this is not a run. This is a strategic shift. Nothing wrong. Perceiving all of this, Kakashi is pleased. Fortunately, I didn't come, and it is estimated that the whole army will be wiped out. Orochimaru is old and terrifying. Also Naruto, with big nerves, carelessness, and no understanding of the gap between them. Alas, that's all. Lousy did it for the teacher's one seedling. Kakashi put his hand on the mask and was ready to open the whole card at any time. In response, Naruto's expressionless thoughts swept away, and suddenly there was something more in his hand. What is this? Kakashi was puzzled, and took a closer look. Well, it looks like a cannon barrel, but it's a bit small, and it's still mounted on the hand. Does the new ninja work? Naruto pondered. I don't know, try it and you will know. While speaking, he raised his hand to Orochimaru. Bang! A soft sound. The invisible air cannon went straight to Wanshi and hit Wanshi's head. Wan Snake shook his head and asked suspiciously, Orochimaru, you are teasing me, you can solve this kind of little devil with your fingers, it makes me like a big enemy, no, double the sacrifice. Orochimaru. He didn't speak, but looked at Naruto with bright eyes. No, it was the air cannon in Naruto's hand, as if he had discovered the new world. That thing is so powerful, it can launch an attack without any conditions. Although the attack power is a bit rubbish, if you optimize it, Orochimaru thought. Well, this is a direction, a very interesting direction. No, this little guy must be caught. Orochimaru was ready to move, directly overturning the mood of playing before, and must catch this kid. As soon as he wanted to move, Orochimaru saw that the kid on the opposite side secretly took out 2 bamboo dragonflies. That's right, that's bamboo dragonflies. The toys they used to play with when they were young, now think about it carefully, full of memories. Tisk. It's all childhood, it's all the lost youth. Wait, please sack. Orochimaru and Wanshi suddenly looked straight. What did they see? Uzumaki Naruto is flying into the sky. Oh, Kakashi is also holding that, don't cut the fly anymore. And the speed is fast. Bye. Naruto controlled his body and flew in the opposite direction. Go, Wan Snake, you must catch that kid. Orochimaru trembled with excitement. The flying bamboo dragonfly, a good thing, you must grab it and study it. You don't need to say it. Wan Snake curled his mouth, his body exerted force, and he smashed the bridge with a bang, and went straight after Naruto. So, what happened? Dasna, who had escaped from the dead, was covered in dust and lost in a daze. Isn't I just building a bridge? As it is so difficult, God, why do you treat our country like this? Alas, in the air, Kakashi is a little fascinated to control the bamboo dragonfly flying into the sky. Below, 10,000 snakes roared, Orochimaru ninjutsu skyrocketed, but it's always a little bit short of it. Thrilling, exciting. Kakashi's heart is faintly boiled. This is really exciting, dance on the tip of the knife. Kakashi, can you be different? Is it trembling? I think you feel like after peeing, refreshing. Quote. Kakashi took a deep breath. If you don't cut it again, no one will treat you as dumb if you haven't spoken. Hey, the key is that I always feel under you, I want to spray me, worry. Kakashi's expressionless face, grasping the hand that will not be cut loose. Oh, don't. If you don't cut your hands and dance, your face will be green. If this is let go, it will fall into Wanshi's mouth. Thinking of how I was swallowed, oh my god, it's so scary, this uncle doesn't want to die like this. This enhanced version of the bamboo dragonfly is really powerful, but it can't get rid of Orochimaru. How could this Orochimaru appear here inexplicably? It doesn't make sense. Naruto deeply doubts whether this is malicious by the world. Otherwise, it would be so unlucky. Isn't it just a rank, as for even the legendary ninja? Let me see what else is there. Naruto calmly looked at the things in the space ring. Bodybuilding pills, it's useless. The water of life is still there, it's not time yet. Inflatable doll, cough, why is this thing still here, didn't I just throw it away? Hey, there is it. Suddenly, Naruto smiled and took out 2 sunglasses, one of which was thrown to Kakashi. Kakashi-sensei, bring it. What's the use of glasses? Although strange, Kakashi put it on silently. Naruto is always able to come up with some inexplicable things, maybe what use this thing is. Inexplicably expecting. Then, he saw Naruto take out an iron bump. Hey, Wan Snake, take the little guy and take out another thing, look, throw it down, be careful, maybe it's a big killer. Don't worry, we just need to be vigilant. That's right, a kid, something, how good can it beat us, joke. So, Orochimaru and Wanshi stared at each other to see what kind of attack it was. Then, with a bang, The extremely dazzling bright light suddenly. I am so, hiss. Wanshi Orochimaru was recruited collectively. I want to ask what it feels like to be in the eyes by the powerful light. Many snakes are twisting, Orochimaru is crying. Is this moral decay or, run? Seeing that the conspiracy had succeeded, Naruto pulled Kakashi away quickly. Don't cut it again. I can't see any more. Naruto and the others ran very fast, and they ran far away, and by the way, they played against Sasuke Jr. Sakura. A few people together. Let's run. After Naruto's appearance, it is estimated that Orochimaru is going crazy. This thing was out of reach for the first time, and it was useless the second time. Time passed quickly. Naruto and the others don't know how long they have been running. Anyway, they didn't have enough energy to stop, and took a closer look. Oh, they are on the coast of Nami country. Okay, hurry up and leave by boat. Wait, little Sakura suddenly interrupted the movements of several people. What if that terrible sea monster comes again? Quiet. I'm afraid that the air will suddenly become quiet. There is a sea monster in front, and then a snake spirit. Several people were silent and looked at Naruto one after another. Feeling this weird look, Naruto's heart burst. What do you want to do? I'm wronged you. Kakashi patted Naruto. Naruto, sacrifice yourself and achieve others. Naruto, it's up to you, go to attract strangers, tank. Little Sakura, Sasuke and others nodded their heads, looking as if they were relying on you. What am I? Naruto looked dumbfounded. I am a salted fish, not a tank. I understand that I look like a mocking person helpless. In the end, Naruto silently put on the bamboo dragonfly. Wow, sure enough, it didn't take long for the three tails Ichi to come and pursue Naruto perseveringly. It's safe. This scene fell in the eyes of Kakashi and the others on the shore. They looked at each other and suddenly heaved a sigh of relief, and finally led the strange away. No way, who told Naruto to be full of mockery? Three Tails Isao is coming towards him. There is no doubt that Orochimaru, who is chasing after him, must also go towards Naruto, plus Naruto's special physique, chakra is abundant. Tank, nothing wrong. Go, find the boat, we should go back too. Kakashi led them to find a boat without cutting them, and silently rushed to Guchin town. As for Orochimaru, he is watching from a distance. Seeing Naruto flying farther and farther with the bamboo dragonfly, Orochimaru couldn't help but touched his bloated eyes. It was a little painful. What on earth is that thing that can emit such a dazzling light? Even animals with weak eyesight like one snake have been recruited. Terrible. When does this thing appear in Konoha village? It seems that this time Konoha's collapse plan needs to be revised, just in case the province appears. The elders in Konoha Hokage don't know yet. Because of Naruto, Konoha's collapse plan is more complete, more vigilant, and more powerful than the original book. If you know, well, it is estimated that Hinata will go to incense next year. At that time, the tomb head grass was very high. 2 days later, in Guchin town. What about Naruto? Kakashi glared. Where did that guy go again? Didn't he say he was in this kennel? Cough cough, did you meet in the cave? Ms. Kakashi, here is a letter. Kakashi took the letter in Sakura's hand and opened it, and he was silent. For a long time, he sighed slightly. The dog can't change eating shit. He raised the letter in his hand. That guy went fishing again. Several people were silent. Life is endless, and fishing is endless, so persistent, it is awe-inspiring. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe for more videos.